Guys, I don't know if I'm live. Yeah, I think I'm live. Okay. You guys are cracking me up. I was reading some of your messages. I hope you're joking, right? But that's hilarious because no, never mind. I shouldn't be laughing. Some people just don't have a sense of humor, I guess. But you know what? No, I'm not gonna apologize for it. Those of you that know me knows I'm not laughing at anything that happened. It's just crazy that like the case we were covering before has a Xana, but even though her name wasn't, it was Xana. Well, that wasn't even her real name, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. Yes, I was Muffy. I was. Um, outside girl. Hey, Sherry. Um, oh, Siri just is picking up on my phone because I said Sherry. Hey, Shaba. Peyton, what's up, guys? Good Sunday afternoon, or I should say evening. It's already at evening, I guess. Hey, Dominic. Hey, Eve. Hey, hoping for answers. Joshua 18. Crack me up, Josh. Hey, Tasha. Miss Haley. Fuad. Fuad Tadros. The one and only. Good evening. Southern Gale. Lisa. Zelda. Hey T Marie. Hey Jody. So, hey Miss Haley Michelle. RC Gal. What up, what up? How's everybody doing today on this Sunday evening? Sunday early evening, I should say. Um, let me clear out my phone. So, okay. Um, cool Gamer. We got Vandal Vlogs in the house. Southern Gal. We got everybody's in the house. Hey Dolores. Hillberry Billberry. I love saying your name. Julie Rowland from Dayton. Yeah. Hey Corey. Jules. Okay. So, yay. I try to go live on Sundays because Sundays are really like I like going live on Sundays. So I always try to make a point to do a live on a Sunday early. I like to try to get it early. I would have liked to do it earlier than I am now, but I slept in a little bit too late, if you know what I mean. I've been sleeping in like a freaking crazy woman. And the thing is I've been sleeping in, but I feel like I haven't been staying up as late as I should be sleeping in. It's still late, like 3 or well, no, actually yesterday I don't think it was that late. I don't know. But we're gonna watch some videos. I want to watch this video. Did you guys watch Kaylee's dad, well, her parents, the interview on Fox that came out? Was it yesterday? Mm, I am so confused about it, but I think he's like giving us some clues here, which I can't make sense out of it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what he meant by it, but I want to watch it with you. I have a few videos. I've got Banfield interviewed Xana's mother, which I want to do. It's just like audio, so I want to watch that with you guys too. And then what else? I did a compilation with the new interview. Oh, and then I did I added in the memorial, the one where they all the oh, it was on Fox. So I added that in because I thought that was kind of nice. All the family members coming up and speaking. None of them's really that long. So, but for sure, I want to watch the one with Kaylee's parents first because we got to talk about that. I want to see what you guys think about it. So maybe we'll do Kaylee's parents first. We'll do the memorial last at the end. We'll do Kaylee's parents first. Then I want to do Xana's mom's interview, and then I want to do a couple other. Hold on, what else? There's two other ones. There was that I wanted to watch. There's the News Nation two more News Nation ones that I thought were interesting. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'm actually glad that they're speaking out because I feel like we've got more information from them than we've gotten from I mean, what if we think about it? What if we gotten from law enforcement? And I know we're not owed anything. I'm not entitled. I know. I'm not saying that, guys. I'm not saying we're owed anything. But all I'm saying is I'm thankful that they are out talking because we are at least our curious minds that want to know everything. It's like they are giving us some information that we would not have otherwise had. Like, I think a lot of it that we're not even like, well, most of you guys have been following the case. I'm sure are aware of a lot of that. A lot of the details have came from them. If you guys realize, like, so I don't think we would have gotten much from law enforcement. I think we would have been like, I don't know how much would we have gotten if it wasn't for them. So I'm glad that they are out talking and It makes me kinda mad how, like, when they talk about, like, how they wanted to put, like, a reward in the flyers out, and they were, like, trying to tell them not to do that and stuff, so there's just weird things that are kinda making me upset about law enforcement, but I know I'm gonna have faith in them, and I know they're we couldn't do it without them, but, I mean, it's just it makes me wonder why they are doing it like that. Is it for, like the reputation of the town? I mean, what like, because it's targeted, it's not targeted, it's somebody was targeted specifically, "Oh, it was the house that was targeted." Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're not sure, then don't say it like a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say, "We're not sure yet," because then when we're sitting here discussing it, I have so many people that take what law enforcement says as like gospel, and then they come in and yell at me about it. Like, they said this, they said that. And I'm like, yeah, well, just wait 24 hours and see what they say now because it changes all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hate when people come in trying to lecture me about that because we know they don't know at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They have no clue. So what they're saying could change a million times. So shut up, people. Seriously. All right, let's watch. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about, Rachel. That's what we're gonna watch. That's do you see my title? Yeah, that's the exact one. I want to see what you guys let's watch it together and try to figure out what he's even saying because the thing that confuses me is that he did go up the stairs. So is he trying to say that he didn't go up the stairs? And then that would mean that they were in another bedroom, you know what I'm saying? But obviously the police said it was on the 2nd and 3rd floors, so he would have had to go up the stairs? Like, what is he trying to say? Or is he trying to say that the targets were Xana or Ethan, and so he didn't have to go up the stairs, but for some reason he did because the target wasn't upstairs, which would have been the people upstairs would have been Maddie and Kaylee. Or was he saying he didn't even go up the stairs? You know what I'm saying? There's like so many ways you could take that. And I wish the freaking reporter would have elaborated on that. Like, I wish he would have said, "What do you mean?" My famous words. You know me, I would have been like, "What do you mean?" Like he didn't go up the stairs. Did he? He did go up the stairs though. So what do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking one of the things he could have meant that the targets weren't up the stairs. So, but then why did he go up the stairs? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking he meant, Sleuthy. But the thing is he did though. So why? You know what I'm saying? I'm that's the only thing I can. If you think about what he meant, because we know that he did go up the stairs, that has to be what he meant, I would think. But why? Then why did he go up the stairs? Did they, like, hear something and come down? No, because they were in their beds. So if he didn't have to go up, why did he go up then if the targets were on the first floor? You know? So that's why it's still not as clear as I don't know. I'm still not 100% sure. I mean, that would be, like, the most logical thing to think that he meant, but alright, let me, man, I'm flashing. Hold on, let me, add this so I could s my camera's still all I know you guys don't see it, but it's what's flashing in my eye. Okay, let me play the video and then we'll chat about it. Yeah, he's done a lot of interviews. He's done a lot. I just thought that one was really interesting because of what he said. But if there's something out if you're saying there's another interview where he explains that, then I haven't seen it, let me know. But that's the one that's the most interesting, the stuff he said. Okay, so let me play it real quick. Um, alright.
Of Kaylee Gonzalez, Christy, and Steve Gonzalez. Thank y'all so much for being with me. You guys have been so transparent and strong for the public. Christy, you called the person that did this the boogeyman.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Really? Shoot. Okay, which one this morning? Because we'll watch this first. Because let's watch this so we can put it in context. We'll watch this and then we'll watch it. So did he? Was that were we right then? It was that Target weren't upstairs. That they were. It was Xana and um Ethan. Is that what he meant then? Is that what he? Well, don't tell us. Let's just. Okay. What interview? Okay, we'll watch that. Let's watch this first, so because there's more. I feel like there's more. It's. I think it's all important. This whole interview. Um. Oh. Oh. It could be that too, but I know everybody's saying he explains it, but nobody's saying how he explains it. So, What interview? Just tell me, because he's done so many interviews. Just tell me the people that interviewed him, that where he explains it, and I'll go find it. Oh, it's on Fox again? Where he explains it this morning. Is it Fox again? Okay. Is that what you're saying? Okay, let's just watch this and then I'll try to find it. So you're saying Fox is when he explains it. Okay. I'm talking about when he this morning, not this one, because I know this is the one where he first says it.
It's literally like what nightmares are made of. Like when you're a little kid and you think of the boogeyman, that's just how I feel. Like that's just the horrific details of everything. Them just having a good time, going home and going to bed, and that's happening to them.
Your best friend crawling into bed.
Just crawling in bed.
Every
and
girl
the
in
boogeyman
America
comes.
knows what that's
The
like.
boogeyman doesn't, you know.
Okay, we'll watch it after this, guys.
Meet you at McDonald's.
Here, we'll watch it
the
all.
boogeyman comes and snatches you out of your bedroom.
Steve, we've been talking. I've been talking to folks in the community. You said something that stuck with me. You said, until this person is caught, you can't sleep in your bed.
No, I can't just lay in my bed and do nothing. That's not the way I raised my family. That's not the way I raised my girls and my son. You don't be a victim. You stand up for yourself and you do everything in your power to make sure people hear you. And they're gonna hear Kaylee. They're gonna hear Maddie. They're gonna hear these.
The other two as well.
Yes.
All of them.
I'm careful saying anything about them because I need to be careful because I can't speak on somebody else's child. But these two girls, I'm not trying to be a glory hound, but these two girls, I'm going to do what I can do, and we're not being victims. We're going to fight. We're going to figure out how to make sure that we hold.
Okay, everybody, I got it. You don't have to keep telling me. I'm not going to go to another channel's name. I'm going to go to Fox. So I got it. I got the interview. So we're going to watch it after. Okay, so we could quit talking about that. No, I'm not trying to be mean, but let's focus. Now let's just watch this. We're going to play it after. Thank you guys, though, because I didn't know. Because, I mean, like, when you look it up, there's so many interviews that it's like, wait, which one? Like, got to watch them all. I guess I'm going to end up having to watch them all. But, okay, but I have it. Okay, let's do it. Let's just finish watching this, and then we'll watch that.
Hold everybody, accountable, and we keep eyes and attention on this and get this thing resolved.
Steve, you have made it very clear to our audience that you are supportive of law enforcement. You support the investigation. But recently, I've been watching and talking with you, and you're getting frustrated. What does that frustration come from, sir?
They put certain people between you and the officers that are making things happen, and those people are like lawyers, and they don't want to say anything, and they don't have the guts to come up and be alpha and be like leaders and say, hey, we might say something that's wrong. We're going to take that hit. So the officers, they look me straight in their eyes. The lead detective looked me in his eyes. I have no doubt he's working as hard as he can. But somebody isn't communicating. There's nothing being released. It seems like they're trying to suppress the story. We want to put rewards out there. Like, don't do that. Yeah, I get it. Your town doesn't want to have reward posters posted all over when you come and you do your rush. You're not going to get a lot of students if they see those things. But this community is not going to heal until this guy's pulled off the streets. It ain't going to happen. Think it through. It's not going to happen. He has to be off the streets. We all are working for the same thing.
When was the last time y'all heard from the police?
Thursday,
we looked at our phone records. We want to be accurate. We don't want to sell anyone out.
about 3 o'clock on Thursday.
And did y'all get an update from the police about the investigation?
There was nothing. We have no updates for you.
There was no update. They
Via
needed me to
text.
sign a waiver form so that they could investigate something
Some mail.
that was mail related. So we're working with them. We're not selling them out. We love our law support.
The FBI, everybody that's here. We just have no information as family, and it gets tough day after day after day. I mean, every day you just wake up and think today's the day. We're going to hear something, and you see these, oh, there's a break in the case, and it'll just be something stupid.
The sixth
you know?
person on the lease that was never there. Stop playing games. This is serious. These are people's lives, and this is the future of this community. There's going to be 10,000, 15,000 kids that come into this community next year, or they don't. So be serious.
I had the opportunity to speak to some of my sources, and I've been told that there were differences in the way that the victims were killed. Some were more severe than the other. And this week we heard the target attack walk back and then reverse it back to it being a target attack. What can you tell us about the targeted attack?
They have told us that it was targeted, but they told us they can't tell who. We asked specifically, and they said, we'll try to get that information to you. And they got back to us a day or so later, and they said, we're sorry, we can't give you that information. But then a day later, we saw in the news that it was not targeted, or they think the whole house was targeted. But
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
yeah,
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have to
may
go
have
up
been
the
target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in the box, and I can speak on that.
I was also told from sources that are closer to an investigation, because there was a lot of roommates in there. And this was horrific for those roommates that were there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The preservation of this crime scene. Witnesses tell me that it may have well been preserved because the phone was passed around between one of the fraternity members and the girls. One of them unfortunately witnessed the death, the body there. Can you confirm that?
We cannot actually. We know nothing about that whole phone call. We've asked, and it's, I mean, I know that a lot of people want to know, but that's just not our agenda. We just are like, somebody called 911, somebody was reported unconscious. We don't really know. I mean, we've heard so many different things, and nothing has been clarified or been told to us at all. And I mean, I don't know if I personally have asked anything about that. I don't know if you have asked that, but we know that this is getting 3 weeks in, and it's starting to get, we don't want it to go cold. We're reaching out. I've reached out to friends down in California today that have connections that we're hoping to raise some money to get a reward.
Just to comment on that, I read something somebody posted. Actually, hold on, let me just share it because that makes me what you just said. The father said she in a News Nation interview. Let me show you this post that was in a group, or it might have been on Twitter actually. Hold on, I screenshot it. See if you guys know anything about it. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Let me share my screen. I found two. It looks like there's Lucy. I got the one you emailed me, and then it looks like there's another one from this morning on Fox. So I'm gonna play both of them. It looks like they're two different videos from what the way that they look. So we'll play both of them. It looks like they're both from this morning. So I don't know if I'll be able to. Well, like, how much longer is this interview? Because I'm so anxious, not anxious, but I want to know like how he explains it. But hold on, let me just show you this real quick. This post. Where is it? I just ran across it this morning when I think it was on Twitter. Hold on. I mean, I have it screenshot, but okay. It has to do with your comment about it being a girl, actually. That's why you just reminded me. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So look at this. Hold on. Did I already share? Okay. Now watch. I don't know. It's interesting. The most. I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but look. So it says, I just found out my remote photography group has video from a tripod that was stationed behind the house. It recorded from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and shows a woman running from the side of the house as a truck entered the driveway. She ran away from the house and right by our tripod at approximately almost, but not completely accurate or exact, roughly 2 a.m. A group member removed the tripod, and I don't know who has the video. It is the group's right to not disclose why we record, but we would send in recordings in special circumstances. This is then call the police, give them your information. Group member reported the video was sent to Idaho police. Our group has been removed from Facebook for various policy violations. So yeah, this is just no confirmation. This is just somebody posted. I can't confirm there's any truth to it. Just interesting because what you just said, Amanda, don't know. Have you guys seen that? So, but that kind of goes, no, not quite. Because remember that neighbor that emailed me that said that they were a neighbor, and they said that a truck came up, and they said a guy, but I guess if it was dark, maybe there was just a person ran from. It was the red Jeep, they said, which is they towed all the cars in, so the red Jeep. I saw a video of them towing that out too. So they said that somebody came out, the red Jeep dropped them off, and they ran in, and then they ran out the back though, and up, through the like out the back where the trees and stuff were. Like around what time did she say? I have to go back through my email, which I can't confirm that person was legit either. But that was like one of the first lives I did on this case, or maybe the second. I don't know. You guys probably remember. We're like, what? I don't know. Yeah, it could just be somebody messing around. But if they have a video of a woman running out of the house at that time, I mean, there you go. Like, because we're just all assuming it's a guy, but he does say he in this interview sometimes too. So, I mean, maybe it's just weird. Okay, let me finish this and then we'll watch the new one.
To get a private investigator,
Third party.
Why go the private route? Do y'all worry that at the end of this
Sarah,
week
we're gonna watch that
this
after
case
this.
may
I
be
just wanted
cold?
to watch this first.
we're scared.
You tell me you don't want a photo up there with the reward
Thanks,
offering
Stacey.
information. That kind of sounds like you're trying to like suppress the story. I mean, why do you not need help? But hey, I could be wrong, and you officers, I apologize if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I want to.
absolutely.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me. But if you don't have the information, people do know. If they don't, then
I did say hi.
we-
I
the
said hi at the beginning.
This is a community that is
say hi, Mom.
IT based. These guys live
I
a
just wanted to
digital
get into the
footprint
video.
like we've never. All of us older people, we don't know how much that digital footprint could be helpful. So that's what we asked for. I hope like
Well,
a DNA.
Yeah, that's true actually though, because we know they texted Jack up until almost 3 a.m. So at 2, they were still alive texting Jack or calling Jack. Sorry, I lied. They tried to call him. So if that was if they're saying approximately, are they like an hour off or something? Because those texts to Jack was like, after 2. So if I were to guess, I would guess between 3 and 4, like sometime after 3, like 3 to a little bit after or something, I would guess is when it happened. So if I would guess between 3 and 4 is what I'd guess. If I had to guess from what we know when it happened. What about you guys? I do too. I really do too. They definitely have a passion. It's like they really want to find out. It's
Family lineage, if they could come out here and just start taking, this
Yes, I
town
can.
is not that big. We could figure out this, and it might not be him. It might be a family member.
Hey,
We
Dominic.
have family all going to the school together.
I'll do it
You know,
right
there's
now.
cousins, there's aunts, there's uncles. We could
Yeah.
find this guy
Those,
just with volunteers.
lineage companies were, yeah.
Put Idaho on the map.
Christy, Steve, we're going to stay on this case.
Thank you.
We're not
Thank you.
going anywhere.
Thank you.
You guys have been candid with us. We'll keep asking questions. Any resource that we have available, our audience is praying for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. It was big for you guys to come back to Moscow
Yeah.
tonight. I know it took a lot of courage to
took a
do
lot.
it.
I slowed it to
And
60.
I'm
Let me know
hoping we
if you
can
need
get
it
some
more.
answers for you.
Okay.
Thanks so much for
So-
joining me tonight.
Let me take that down and then let's watch. So I have 2, it looks like 2 different ones from this morning. I'm going to play the one that Sleuthy sent me first. And then, or both, because you said he went on 2. Were they both Fox? Because I have 2 that looks like it was from today from Fox. And it looks like they're different ones. But I'm going to play the one you sent me first, Sleuthy. And then I'll play the other one that I found. It looks like at least it was uploaded today. I'm guessing it was from today. The other one is just on the other one's not on their channel. It's on their like Facebook that you sent me. Okay. So let's do this one first and then we'll do the other one. All right. Okay. So you heard what he said basically. He didn't have to go up the steps. So this is, I guess he explains what he meant on that, because we know, okay, so Ethan and Xana's were on the main floor, and then Maddie and Kaylee's room was upstairs, and they were both sleeping in Maddie's bed. So I mean, he did go up the stairs. So let's see how he explains it, guys. Because I don't know. I didn't see this. I know you guys all know already, probably. All right.
Their home. Investigators still have not named a suspect. Officials are combing through thousands of tips, crime scene photos, and evidence.
The father of one of those victims, Kaylee Conclava, is now revealing the manner of death for his daughter and her friend Maddie were different, leading him to believe one of them may have been the target. The heartbroken dad, Steve Conclava, joins us now. Steve, before we start this interview, I just want you to know how much our hearts go out to you. That I know from what I'm hearing from people everywhere that they are with you, they're praying for you, and they're also hoping for justice to come sooner rather than later for your daughter and her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. And what does that tell you, and what are the police telling you that means?
There's a couple things that tell me with common sense, but I'm not a professional, so I want to specify that. But they've said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs. His entry and exit are available without having to go upstairs or downstairs. Looks like he probably may have not gone downstairs. We don't know that for sure, but he obviously went upstairs. So I'm using logic that he chose to go up there when he didn't have to. And I can kind of tell by my daughter's texts, messages. She did call 911. She wasn't saying anything along the lines of like she had heard something or she was in fear. So I'm just putting the dots together. As far as the investigators, they're very tight-lipped and they're keeping everything close to their vest. And I understand that. And I'm probably not the right person to share all these things with. So I'm just trusting them that their case is super tight and they don't really need to reach out to the community. And, all the evidence is right there in the home.
So, Steve, I want to be respectful, as I can tell you're trying to walk this tightrope as well with law enforcement, with the desire to know and get some type of action as well. You've said both now to Rachel and then in the clip in your appearance with Lawrence Jones that your daughter and Maddie had different means or manner of attack, and that suggests one of them was targeted. Can you share with us, do you know, and you can't share either way, which one was targeted?
I can't. I asked for permission to do just that, and they said no. I probably disclosed information that they wish I wouldn't have said, but the story's going cold. There's less people coming to Moscow. I'm not gonna go sleep in my bed knowing that I could get up and I could go to town and I could do something. And I'm not gonna go away. And I hate to be a pain, but as a father, I just can't even sleep thinking that I could be doing something. So that's why I'm not.
Understandable. Wow.
Let me ask the flip side too. You're being respectful.
Let me just say, okay, so no, from what he said in there, he thinks Maddie or Kaylee was the target. So he's saying basically he went in through the sliding glass door. So therefore, if Maddie and Kaylee were not the targets, then why did he go upstairs? So he's saying he thinks it was Maddie or Kaylee were targets. Because if it was Ethan and Xana, he would have just went to Ethan and Xana's, killed them, and then left, because they think he went out the sliding glass door too. So why did he go upstairs? So probably the reason why Ethan and Xana got it is because Ethan probably woke up. So maybe he came out and like confronted him as he was going upstairs. So, but he still proceeded to go upstairs because probably one of them were the targets, is what he's saying. And the thing that I'm confused though, he's acting like he's insinuating that the cops do know who the target is, but they don't want him to say. But yesterday's interview and all the previous interviews, it seems like he was saying the cops aren't telling them anything, and they don't know because they're not telling them. So do the cops know, and are they telling him? Because think about that last interview we just watched. He was saying how they, they just keep changing. Like, oh, the house is targeted. Oh, there was one person's targeted. It was the house that there weren't targeted, and just changing their stories. And he's getting frustrated. And then the lack of communication that the law enforcement is having with them. But on this one, it sounds like he's saying they did tell him, and he's not allowed to say. What do you guys think? Do you think he knows? Like, do you think the cops told him what they think? Like, they must have done it this morning then, huh? Um, I don't know. And then another thing, when he says that she wasn't afraid, but I'm confused. When does he mean that? Because it's not like he talked to her in the middle of the murder. So what are you guys getting from that when he said she didn't seem afraid? I mean, she didn't call him like in the middle of it or text him in the middle of it going on. So what is he even referring to? Is any thoughts on that? Or am I like misunderstanding what he meant by that? Hey Kalohi. Hey Pop Life. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe they did. Well, who did? Oh. Yeah, but I mean, if he attacked her, if he attacked them when they were in their sleep, they wouldn't have even had time to call 911. No. You know what I'm saying? Like if he just like surprised them in their sleep and then he kills them, like would they have really been able to call 911? I mean, was their phone? I mean, I don't know where they keep their phones, but he probably wouldn't have let them. So I don't see how they would even have had that an option. Maybe. I don't know though. All right, we'll continue this. Yeah, I think he has because I think he does have some details that he's probably like in his head has an opinion on it, but I just wonder if cops actually told him somebody. Um, well, we know they tried to call Jack, but Jack said he was sleeping and he didn't answer. Remember? Peyton, Lady V, what up? What up? Hey, Google user. Okay, let's continue this.
Toward police about the fact that they need to be tight-lipped. But if there was something you felt like you deserved to know or you should know as a father at this point, are there questions you have unresolved from the police that you feel like, hey, just throw me a bone here and let me know?
For sure. I mean, alibis, just share the alibi. If you're not sharing an alibi, to me, it tells me that you're not 100% confident that it's going to stick, or you have somebody who's going to come forward and say, hey, I don't know what he told you or that person's alibi was, but I have this information. I have something. So if you don't share the alibi, it makes it a little bit harder for us to just let those go. And I've said it before, I don't want to make victims out of just bystanders and witnesses. So I just share those things, and that would help.
Steve, do you get the sense that you're being asked to not talk more and that law enforcement is being so tight-lipped to protect an investigation that is honing in on a conclusion, or because they're totally lost and there is no real sense of direction? And I think all of us, we want to trust law enforcement. We want them to do their job. But I don't know if you know, I have no idea. Is this thing honing in at this point, or is it scattered all over the place?
Wish I knew for sure. I did sit down with the investigator, the lead investigator, and I looked in his eyes and I got a sense that this guy was going to do everything in his power to figure something out. But if the evidence isn't there, that's the part that I'm concerned. And then there's layers of separation. The communication is not the same as the boots on ground. All the officers that are out on the streets, those guys that are working their tails off, but there's a different person to adjust the communication. And that guy's sitting with the lawyer, and that guy's sitting there telling him, you got to protect things that are beyond the case, like the town and the community and the college itself. Those don't matter as much to me. I mean, I definitely don't want to hurt them, but I have an agenda, and I think it's pretty clear. It's these two girls, and that's what I'm working for. And I'm not going to let that story fall apart just because they don't want wanted posters, on their next rush of students that come into town.
Wow. I have to say, Steve, I hadn't really considered those factors, but it's obvious that would be a consideration for the communications director of the police department and also the PR for the school and the town. are you communicating with the parents of the other victims? Are they feeling as frustrated as you are? And I hate to ask a two-part question, but I'm going to do it anyway. Do you feel confident in the police investigation and the people investigating right now?
I do not feel confident, and that's why I push the envelope and say a little bit more. I hate to be that guy, but there's a job to do for everybody. Has a job and a role to play, and this includes, this is my role as a parent. I have talked to obviously Maddie's mother and her father, and I've talked to Xana's father, and he said, hey, you can speak on behalf and you can help push this narrative. So I feel confident there. That's as far as the real communications that I have. So one family have missed out to being able to be in the same location and the same thing to really get on the same page. So I try not to mention that and stay within my lane of what is my role. And I'm not trying to just gear it all to my daughter. It's just I can't speak for other people.
Yeah. Steve, before we let you go, just
Yeah, Jen, who said that? Jen, yes. That's one of the ones we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch that interview too. So yeah, we'll do that after these. With Anna's mom. What was I gonna say though? Somebody's comment wanted me to say something. What was it? Hold on, let me see. I don't know. I forget. I'll have to see if I remember. We'll continue. This is almost over, and then I'll see the other one that looks like it was from today. I think it looks like it's a different one.
share a little bit with our audience about Kaylee.
Kaylee was amazing, hard worker. She hung out with two boys, her brother and her cousin, and she was right in between them. She wanted to be faster than them. She was that girl that was like really like, she was kind of like this a Punky Brewster type girl, and we missed out on a really smart person that was going to be a little conservative. She was conservative. She was always looking up stories on child, getting trafficked, and she was telling me that she thinks it's a lot bigger than people understand. So, and we can't replace her, guys. There's no replacing any one of these people.
Steve, we're all parents on this couch, and I just can't tell you how much we feel for you, and can't imagine what you're going through, you and your whole family. And I know that you came on the show today because you're hoping that people that might have information, you're hoping that more information come forward. And so we encourage anybody to call 208-883-7180. The phone number is on the screen right now. And I've heard you say before, Steve, it could be anything. You have no idea how small a piece of information could be that could help.
And Steve, good on you for agitating.
Yes.
We need more men and fathers willing to do precisely what you're doing, keeping people honest and working toward a solution. God bless.
You're doing your daughter's memory proud. And frankly, you're an amazing example of fatherhood, even after something tragic like this happened to her. Thank you for joining us.
Steve, thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, I really like him actually. Okay, so let's I don't know, like I haven't really looked too much into Jack, but hold on, let me show you something here I found. Somebody posted it. I can't remember if this was on Twitter or Facebook too, but hold on, let me show you what hey Aussie True Crime, what up, what up? Hey Riley. I know, I was thinking about it, Lisa. I think I am. I was just thinking about that today, like, because I was seeing like how he's having so much issues with, and how basically it's like it seems like he's got a fear of the case going cold, and you could tell he just wants it to stay out there, and he does not want it, and he's going to do whatever he can. So I was thinking, man, yeah, I bet you I should, because you could tell he's afraid of it, and I don't blame them the way that they're doing it, like the way that the law enforcement. But maybe there's a motive, or maybe there's some technique of why they are doing it this way. Like, hold on, I just started somebody's comment. I wanted to this one right here. Yeah, Annie Oakley. I think the cops are saying different things because they are watching someone, how they react. The killer is watching interviews, press. Maybe they know she let him in, and that's why she isn't. So like, yeah, they might be onto a couple people and just trying to watch how they're acting. And I'll thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. And I don't think there's a gag order. No, they just had they did a gag order on Delphi though with all the family, so they're not allowed to talk about it. But no, there's no not that I heard of on this case yet. Have you got why are you saying that there is? I don't well no, obviously there's not because he just talked this morning. Hold on. Thank you for the super chat. I can't find it now. Where is it? Hold on. Somebody that just super chatted. I saw it for a split second and then it just disappeared. Oh, Kendra, thank you. Kendra moi. Kendra moi. All right. Here's this other one, and then we'll watch Xana's. Actually, I want to go over. Wait, before we forget about that, I want to go show you a couple screenshots actually, because talking about Jack. Did you guys see this? So somebody posted. Wait, let me make sure this goes in order. So we have. Why aren't those going over? Hold on one second. Oh, it's over here. Okay. So this is okay. So this is 2016. So when did Jack started date? When did Kaylee start dating Jack? Do you guys know? Because this was going around where there's this other guy, this Graydon Allen Lee or whatever. It's like they would have married. Oh, there we go. Look, it's flipping. It's doing that thing that it did on Michael Vaughn when it kept going back to his him and his mom, the picture, you remember? Why is it doing that? Okay, let me try again. It's probably gonna keep doing it. But okay, so this is Kaylee kissing this Jack Graydon guy, and it says they would have married. University of Idaho victim Kaylee Gonsalves family backs her ex-boyfriend Jack. Gonsalves' mom, in an interview Saturday night, maintained the young man's innocence. Jack is just as distraught as we are. Jack is our family. Jack is 1,000, 2,000 our family, 2,000% our family, and Jack is with us, and we stand behind him 100%. Christy Gonzalez told host Lawrence Jones, "We are supporting him, and we know in our hearts and our minds and our souls, in the depths of our soul, Jack is hurting." She continued. Kaylee and Jack would have eventually been married. They would have eventually been married, and they would have eventually had children. And then, no, not this one. This is a cute picture of her and her dad. Well, hold on, let me find the posts that were actually with it. Okay, so then it says, when news first broke on the murders of the 4 students, the parents of Kaylee Gonsalves were quick to start doing it again. Hold on. I don't know why it does that. It's really annoying though. So when news first broke, okay, yeah, the parents of Kaylee Gonsalves were quick to start doing interviews in the media to create a specific narrative about their daughter and her ex-boyfriend, Jack. The mother claimed Kaylee and Jack had recently broke up after dating for years, but were in the process of getting back together. I was using my other mouse. See? Hold on. Let me try it again. I want to read the rest of this. Okay. Okay. So they were in the process of getting back together. The mother said that she believed the two would eventually marry and have children. This was done in part due to the information that had been leaked to the media by Kaylee's sister, which revealed Kaylee and Madison Mogan had called Jack's telephone number 10 times shortly before they were murdered. Family members have continued to paint Kaylee and Madison as sweet, deeply committed friends who considered each other sisters. Information has been uncovered which paints a far different picture of Kaylee and Madison. That picture doesn't match the one that's been created by Kaylee's family. I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be reading this. Now I feel bad because I mean, this is just like people's opinions, just are people's thoughts. But they're adults, so they're allowed to freaking whatever. I know they're saying that they were doing this as minors, but kids these days, but that's not actually it's not the one I really wanted to read. It was this one. Sorry, guys. This is the one that I was supposed to read. Okay. So a series of photos from 2016 shows Kaylee romantically involved with another one more time, guys. Okay. with another male named Graydon Lee. Many of the comments that Jack posted on Kaylee's social media are extremely disgusting and disrespectful. None of this aligns with the narrative that Kaylee's parents have articulated in the press. So I was trying to find, which I'll probably do it tonight and try to find what these are, because I didn't have time. But does anybody know what the posts they're talking about? Well, maybe we'll go into some of the groups later. Maybe they have them posted. But whatever Jack was posting that was like disrespectful, has anybody seen that? I want to kind of find them just to see. Or has anybody heard anything about that? Oh, really, dude? Are you serious? Whoa. I know. We're gonna watch that at the end. He was up on the stage with him. Yep. I was hoping he would say something, but he didn't. Like, I just wanted to kind of like read him out, like, like watch, just his body language and just see and how, what he says. But he didn't talk. Hey, mystery, what up, girl? How you doing? There it goes again. Okay, so we'll go through the rest of these screenshots in a minute, but I want to do the other interview real quick. But wait, this one is oh yeah, let's do this real quick. I want to show you this. So did you guys? Okay, so it's been reported that a local said police have footage from a doorbell cam of a masked man entering. Oh, this is okay. This is really annoying. I don't know why it does that. Okay, of a mask. But the thing is every time I put my hands up to show you I'm not doing it, it doesn't do it until I like put it down. But I'm not like even touching it. Okay, so I'll just keep them up so it won't do it. So yeah, of a masked doorbell cam of a masked man entering or at least walking up to the house around 3 a.m. and got a somewhat discernible screen grab of his eyes. And this was shown to the neighborhood frat sorority houses, and I guess the frat identified the photo instantly as a man who lives on the same street. Another local admitted that they, in fact, gave the footage to the police. So are they saying that it was from that night, though? But here, let me show you the picture, the actual picture of it. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. Of the masked man. This is supposedly the picture. It's true. Okay. Oh, thanks, Brittany. How are you? So this is supposedly the picture of the masked man. But I'm trying to figure out if they're hey, Steel Ribbon. How's your cute husband doing? I still think about how sweet that was that he did that. That was just the sweetest thing ever. Tell him thank you again. So this is supposedly if this really is supposedly that night, then hello, yeah, you better find this guy. So this is the one they said they showed it to the frat and they recognized his eyes. And they all knew who he was, and it was some guy that lived down the street. So yeah, he did say steps, not stairs. Yep, you're right, Dominic. So I don't know. I was trying to like look at the eyes because I still have my freaking. There's still something in my head that I can't get rid of Jack the neighbor. Like there's something that's bothering me about him, and so I was trying to like look at his hair, and doesn't the guy's hair look like it's shaved though? So obviously Jack the neighbor that was with him at the food truck, he had longer hair than this. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm looking at this wrong, and his hair is longer than it looks. But what would you guys say? Would you guys say this guy has a shaved head? Like pretty much. I mean, like it's probably like a centimeter long, like kind of just like shaved all through. No, I'm not saying Jack D, Alicia. I'm saying the neighbor. I know it's not Jack, uh, the ex. That this doesn't even look like Jack the ex because the hair is way off, right? But I'm saying if I was trying to figure out if it looked like the Jack the neighbor. That's all. But hey, Danielle, thank you for joining. I'm talking about the guy from the food truck guy, is all I'm asking. Do you think I'm asking? It looks like it's really short on top, right? Not like, I don't mean like shaved bald, but he has like a really short haircut all around, right? So, hey, Crash and Burn, what up, what up? Hey, Boo Boo Kitty Meow. Oh, okay, okay. Well, the way that I took it when I first heard about this masked man, I thought they were saying that he has been going around to different houses recently ringing the doorbell and he's been caught on doorbell cams. But then when I read this newer post or this post that I just read to you, and that makes it seem like it was that house. So no, I don't think I think the first post I read was probably more accurate. It's just some guy that's doing it. He's ringing doorbells like at like 3 in the morning or late in the morning, and they're catching him like on the doorbell cam. And so that they just had, so they wanted to look into him. So yeah, it probably isn't that night. I mean, it's probably, I doubt it's like that this person did it that night on their doorbell. Who knows though? So yeah, I don't think this doesn't, wait, what? Jack Eyes also. So Jack, which Jack though, MB? Jack the boyfriend or Jack the neighbor or Jack Katovic? There's like a bunch of different Jacks. All right, I'll slow chat. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna slow chat a little bit. Just give me 1 second. So obviously, then this isn't the food truck guy because the hair doesn't match. Oh well, unless if this, no, it could be because this could be an old picture. I mean, this could have been from like months ago, where his hair grew out by then because we don't know when this was done. I wish they had like the whole video cam. So I don't know. This could have been just like the past year somebody was doing it. So I kind of would like more information on that. It just gives you creeps, like, just looking in the eyes. It could just be somebody messing around, might not be anything, but okay, let me slow chat and then we'll watch the other ones. Hold on. I'll slow it to what, 90 maybe? I don't like to do it too much because then people get annoyed. But that's one good perk of being a member. You don't have to, the slow mo doesn't affect you. So join, guys. No, usually I don't try to like push, but hey, I can do it once in a while, right? But yeah, it is a good perk though. So the slow mo doesn't affect you though, if you remember. Okay, so it's only $1.99 a month for the lowest tier. There's different tiers, but okay, so let me just show you the other screenshots I have real quick, and then we'll watch the other videos. I'm just like, when I'm looking up things, if things are just like catch my eye, I'll just like screenshot them. Some of them are old. I don't know, just stuff to share. What is this? Agents at home or FBI's critical incident response. Idaho students murdered. Right at the scene crime, a lead detective appears to be showing the other investigators the home for the first time, trying to confirm the agency, possibly FBI. They started them back and they have been inside more than 1.5 hours. Okay. This is that one I just read. Hold on, that's not going. What's this? We received a report of a man who reportedly chased 2 women on Blaine Street in Moscow. Urgh. Keeps going back to that. Wait, though, I just thought about that. Do we know who this guy? I should look into this guy. Well, I don't know, just to see. I'm not trying to point any fingers. We just like looking into trying to just see who's who. Okay, so at 5:15 Monday, I called Moscow. Oh my gosh. It keeps doing it. I just have to keep putting my hands up. I called Moscow PD and they confirmed this happened. So they did I don't understand. Let me try to put it up here on this pad and see if it does it. Okay. So let's see. Here's the map. So, oh my gosh. This is not even funny anymore. So there's Blaine Street. There's the University of Idaho, Moscow. So basically, a man who reportedly chased 2 women. So, might or might not be connected. Probably not, because it doesn't seem like the MO of the guy that would like come in the middle of the night rather than a guy chasing him out in the public. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like 2 different kind of like people. Okay, so 3 members of law enforcement just went into the house. Not sure if it's local detectives or SBI. They walked up somewhere, didn't park in the driveway. I don't know why I screenshot that. Not sure, guys, but I did. Lights now turning on in bedrooms. Looking around. All right. If only Murphy can talk, right? There's Jack, Murphy. Okay, here's that one that we already looked at. And then, what's this one? Oh, hold on. So this is Kaylee's sister, Olivia, responds to some common questions. So we never made a deal about Kaylee's Range Rover. Everyone else did. Kaylee was extremely a hard worker and worked for everything she had. She had a super good paid internship, and the company had offered her FTE starting January 1st. It's important to her and to us that she is remembered this way. She was home because she worked from home and could be. We're a big family. We take a lot of comfort in being around one another. She also was helping my mom decorate for Christmas and plan Thanksgiving in preparation for my return trip home for the Thanksgiving holiday. Assuming my mom was trying to convince Kaylee to stay is just that assumption. But the roads were also icy, and we always worry about Kaylee making that drive by herself. We have never said this attack was targeted on Kaylee. Kaylee, once again, had a lot of friends and family, and I personally called in tips. Anything and everything I could remember, big or small. Also, please be cognizant of that these interviews are often cut and edited to display. Wait. Yeah. Where's the next one? Oh, to display things. But if my dad did do that, it's because he just lost his daughter. It's not his job to always be strong right now. He knows he can rely on me to help if and when he needs it. Not as a coaching or rehearsal deal, but because sometimes you just don't have it in you to answer a certain question. I do not know who killed her. I wish I did. And I can promise that I will find him and I will know. But I am still getting there I'm still getting there piece by piece. We have no bad ties. There's absolutely no illegal activities. The FBI is involved. You really think you wouldn't have heard of an arrest on one of us if there was anything? I have stated multiple times that we talk for Kaylee and Maddie. I didn't personally know Xana and Ethan and would never claim to. Of course, we feel absolutely terrible. That was our sister, our daughter, our children's aunt. I've always protected her, but this time we couldn't. It's a miserable and helpless feeling that I genuinely hope you do not ever experience. And finally, we do not owe you our places of employment or updated socials. Myself, brother, and father never have really used social media even before this. Where are we? We are adamant on continuing to speak for Kaylee and Maddie because they no longer can, and an arrest has not been made. Our girls deserve more than to fade into the shadows and have their story replaced by a lost piece. And realistically, or by a lost dog piece. And realistically, the worst has already happened to us. I wouldn't jump 2 feet in the air to save my own life if threatened. I just go find my sisters when I got to whatever is left after we go. Wait, I wouldn't jump 2 feet in the air to save my own life if threatened. I just go find my sisters when I got to whatever is left after we go. I'm not following that exactly what. Okay, so let's see what this one is real quick. Oh, so here's another post. So it says, I have it on good authority. Cousin is a cop in a nearby town, but called in to help in Moscow once school started back up. Apparently, the investigation is looking directly at Sigma Chi frat party. Ethan and Xana attended from 8 to 9 that night. He did not have any update on their timeline after they left. 9 to 1:45. Because that's the one weird thing that they went to a party that was just an hour. Did you guys find that kind of weird? Like you go to a frat party just for an hour and then you leave? What kind of does anybody like wonder what kind of party it was? And then they leave and then nobody knows where they went. But I on the one in the interview, they said, oh, it's probably the one we're gonna watch. Yeah, it's the one. I'm pretty sure it's the one with Xana's mom. We're gonna watch here next. She says that she thinks that they went to a bar after that because I think she said something like her dad thinks that's where they went or something, that they probably went to a bar after that. So maybe between like 9 and 1 or whatever time they got home, they went to a bar. But did say it looks like the investigation is honing in on 2 suspects from the party that night, and an update should publicly name them by the end of the week. Sigma has made their socials private and removed all info from Facebook going back a few years. They believe Ethan and Xana were the main targets stemming from an argument that night. But that's crazy because you could tell that Kaylee's dad thinks it was Kaylee and Maddie. So, I mean, we just don't know. These are all just people's opinions, you guys. And just like this is hearsay. So just disclaimer here. Anyway, so where are we? Wait. Yeah, from an argument. Downstairs, survivors could hear two males rummaging through the room above them. Figured it was an after party. Locked the doors and went to bed. Huh. When they discovered them in the morning, about 30 minutes before the 911 call, they called their friends at Sigma to come over, who in turn called the police. See, we heard a different story on that, right? We've been hearing like about how, that whole incident with the post about one of the roommates calls 911, runs outside, passes out. Somebody outside grabs the phone, calls, and then they call 911, and then they're basically reporting the unconscious person would have been the other roommate that passed out. Like, I don't know if anybody's been able to confirm that. Kaylee's parents said that they don't know anything really about the 911 call. They never remember. Kaylee's mom said something like they didn't really ask them, so they don't know the specifics on how that went down. So hopefully they'll eventually come out and say how that all went down. But anyway, so it's right across the street, and for whatever reason, they believed it was people from Sigma upstairs around 2:15 that night. Wow. But I mean, I believe that it probably could be the people from there because that would make sense since it was right there across the street that it was them that took the phone. But did they actually call them? I don't know. Hold on, went to bed when they discovered they called their friends. I don't know. Remember, the first thing we heard is that they did call their friends, remember? Anyway, back door was left open, one dead in bed, the other blocking their room's door with their body. Police just updated their Facebook to reiterate that they're not looking into the activities of that night, only the murders, which to me suggests something went on, fight, drugs, etc., and spilled into anger later that night and got them killed. Also, didn't want to release profile they created as it would cause undue fear in the community. More coming shortly. So whoever this is saying that they think it's somebody from the frat party. And that they're looking into them, I guess. But like I said, this is all just hearsay. So, all right, what else? And then we have, that Katovich guy, the Jack. So, like, because that weird freaking payment of Jack's sister, pays that Molly. Or wait, Molly pays her, right? At 3, and the payment, it says 3:30 a.m., which is what is believed to be probably around the time that it all happens that day. So that's freaking weird. And then Ethan pays Jack. Hold on, I'll bring up those screenshots because I might be seeing it backwards. Okay, that's the one I just played or just showed. No, that's the same one. And this is that handprint, which is kind of weird. I mean, I wonder if they took like stuff like DNA, if there was anything on there that they got that. And somebody posted this. Sad. It's heart-wrenching. Daily Mail took it 10 days after Maddie was brutally stabbed. So it's her pink cowboy boots. How crazy, right? Like in her room window. So crazy. Okay. So let's watch that other interview real quick. Hold on. Actually, here's the other one from Fox. Tell me, is this the same one? Hold on, I'll show you. Because it was uploaded 6 hours ago. Let me know. Hold on, so it cuts in because they're talking about something else. Let me see if it is. This might be the same one that yeah, it is. Never mind. This is the same one. Okay, so let's watch Xana's mom's interview now. All right, 1 second. Let me pull it up. So it's just audio. She calls into Banfield. Here we go.
Kernodle's mom, Kara Denise Northington, is on the phone with me now. Kara, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Can I just ask you off the bat how you are getting by in this terribly sorrowful time?
Not very easily. Not good. I mean, I don't know what to say to that.
I can't even imagine the pain that you and your family are going through. Have the police been helpful to you, Kara, to understand some of the things they can and can't say?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. They haven't said anything. I learn more on the news and on TV than they have said to me.
Have you had a chance to talk with some of the other parents of the other 3 kids who were there that night and share information amongst yourselves?
Not really, honestly. I've just been dealing with my family, and we've just been absorbing this shock.
Can you tell me, Kara, what you do know about this terrible night?
Well, what I do know is not nearly enough. We need more answers. There is so much more that can be done that has not been done. And I just know that there's GPS, NASA, to find out who went into that home that night. I know that. Why hasn't that been looked into? Why hasn't that been accessed?
Kara, can I ask you that there is a mysterious sort of 4-hour and 45-minute block of time that's unaccounted for by the police timeline. The police say that your daughter Xana and her boyfriend Ethan were at the Sigma Chi house from 8 until 9 p.m., but then they don't have any information on where they were from 9 p.m. till 1:45 a.m. Do you know anything about that from either your information from the police or Ethan's family or anybody?
I may be candid in saying this, but I think that they were at a bar.
And where do you get that information from? Did someone tell you that they'd gone from the Sigma Chi house to a bar before they ended up home?
That's what their father conveyed to me, that he thought that they were at the bar that night. So, yeah. I mean, that's what college kids do on the weekends. So.
But you don't know for sure that they left the Sigma Chi house, went to a bar?
Okay. I don't know for sure. Absolutely not.
And have the police asked you any questions about where Xana might have been, or if she texted you, or if she had, if she'd communicated with any family members in that period of time?
No, no answers whatsoever. Really. I asked the investigators when they come and spoke to me. They were not able to offer me any answers. None.
Wait, who, Running Bear? You said there's your suspects? Who? Can you elaborate on that? Let me rewind it a little bit. Did I miss something? Hold on. I'm gonna rewind like 30 seconds.
Xana might have been, or if she texted you, or if she had, if she'd communicated with any family members in that period of time?
No, no answers whatsoever. Really. I asked the investigators when they come and spoke to me. They were not able to offer me any answers. None.
Can I ask you, Xana's sister Jasmine has put such a beautiful tribute to Xana on her Instagram. And I wonder if she has any additional information, just perhaps from being able to access her sister's social media or her phone. Has Jasmine been able to ascertain any other details of what happened that night, or where Xana and Ethan were that night?
No, I'm not going to speak for Jasmine. You would have to ask her that yourself. And she's going through it right now without her sister. And I'm sure if she had any answers or any information, she's already conveyed that to the investigators.
May I ask you if you can confirm that Xana's room was on the second floor of the house?
Yes, I can confirm that. And you know,
And was it on?
I do.
Sorry?
I just had a question about the other two roommates who were there on the first floor, and I just wonder, you know, wasn't something heard, or you know, the surviving roommates that were there, they had to have heard something. They had to have the dog something.
Wow, this is like sad. Like you could hear. I just want to give her a hug. Like she could just, oh, it's almost like she, I don't know. Wow. Um, I know. It's like, what did they hear? So, I mean, if it's true that they weren't sleeping and they heard something, they just thought it was like an after party. I mean, I guess, but then why lock the door then? Like if you're not threatened, you just think it's an after party, then why go and lock your door? Like why did they both had that reaction where it's like, "Oh, they're partying. Psh, let's lock our door." Is that like a common thing? I mean, because does what normally happen that they'll come into their room when they're partying and wake them up or something? Like why lock the door? Does anybody else kind of find that weird? Like I could see if it was a common thing, but like just because, oh, they're up partying, let me lock the door. And I'm not saying that I think they have anything to do with it because I don't think that. I'm just curious, like, is that common? Why did they have the thought to lock the door just because they were up? Unless if like Maddie and Kaylee, like that's what they do. Like maybe when they party, then they'll go down into their rooms and try to wake them up. I don't know. They didn't want to be bothered. Who knows? Yeah, that's true. That's true. It could be just something. Yeah, okay, you would. All right. Yeah, so maybe it's normal. Hey, Magnolia. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's continue this.
I can help you with that somewhat. There is information from a prior tenant who lived on the first floor who said when he lived there in 2019, he moved out. He said he could never hear anything on the second or third floor. If the television was playing very loudly on the second floor, he might hear it from the first floor. And I don't know if that helps you to understand.
The dog heard it, and the dog had to have been barking. You know,
I have information there as well. That I've got information there as well. Our Brian Enton spoke with the parents of Kaylee Gonzalez, and they have actually referred to that. And Brian's going to play that interview in a moment. But Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen on that first floor may not have been able to hear anything, according to the prior tenant, who said it was extremely difficult to hear because of the construction of that house. But I do want to.
Yes, that's a good point, Lisa. You're right. That's a good point. That's probably all it was. Thanks, Grateful MC. So I figured it was something like that from just like, at the memorial, like her dad was there. I was like, wonder where your mom wasn't there. At least she didn't go up on the stage. And I just kind of figured it might have been something like that where she wasn't like in her life. Her mom wasn't in her life at some point. So, do you guys have any more information on that? Like recently, did they reconnect or anything? Or when's the last time that she saw her mom? I wonder. The guilt is probably eating. I mean, it's really probably killing her mom, or bad choice of words. Sorry. It's really probably bothering her mom that, if she hadn't gotten to see her in a while, and I'm sure she's not taking it good.
To ask you if I can, Kara, was your daughter Xana's room on the right side of the house if you're looking from the parking lot, or on the left side across from the kitchen?
I can't answer that. I can't.
But you do know she was on the.
I never went there yet, so I don't know.
But you know she was on the second floor. Do you know if she looked out the front of the house or the back of the house?
I believe in the front, but I can't confirm. Like I said, I haven't been down to visit it yet. So I tried to go last month, but she was in class while I was down there. So
Okay.
Wait, did she say she hasn't been down to visit those idiots, or did I just misunderstand that? Didn't it sound like that's what she said? Hold on a second. There's no way that's what she said. Hold on, I just want to see. I heard like I haven't been down to visit those idiots, but I'm sure I misheard her. Well, thanks, Mike or Mitch, for joining. Thank you so much. I have a Idaho 4 emoji, like custom emoji you guys could put up, just to keep their faces out there. To keep out there, keep the pressure on the law enforcement, make that hopefully this case won't go cold and they'll catch the persons or people that did it. All right, let me continue here. Oh, okay. Fuggin' Tater. What a name. Oh, okay. I rewound it, so we'll see.
I can't confirm. Like I said, I haven't been down to visit it yet. So I tried to go last month, but she was in class while I was down there. So.
Okay, our viewers are looking at the front of the house right now, and the window that I'm referring to is on the second story in the front of the house, and that's where we are, trying.
So I don't mean to keep interrupting, but I want to answer that question. So are you on a phone, Chica? If you're on like an iPhone, it's hold on. If you're on the iPhone, you go to can somebody help explain, like, if she's not on an iPhone? Because it should be under, hold on. Where's my live right now? It's not, oh, shoot. My new live is not even coming up when I look it up. Hold on a second. The heck? Where you at? Oh, here it is. Okay. If you're under it, the iPhone, you just go under what? Chat, and then you go under the emojis, put the smiley face, and you'll have to scroll over because you'll see all the custom emojis that YouTube offers, but you have to scroll all. Wait, where are they, guys? Oh, because never mind. I'm on my other channel logged on, and I'm not a member. So can you guys help explain? I think it's just under the smiley face and you'll see them. Like under the emojis, but scroll over because you know how YouTube has like some custom emojis themselves that they offer. So yeah. All right.
Speculating that perhaps that's where Xana and Ethan were that night. I do want to ask you if you know whether or not Xana had a lock on her bedroom door.
I believe she did, yes.
Do you know if it was a lock that was a code that you would punch in on the bedroom door? The prior tenant who used to live there said that every one of the doors in that home, all 6 bedrooms, were rented separately like apartments, and they all had coded locks. But lots of social media pictures have shown at least one of the locks on the door across from the kitchen on the second floor. It didn't appear to have a coded lock. But do you think that Xana's room had a coded lock?
I believe it did. Her father mentioned to me that he had just went and replaced the lock the weekend before.
You said her father mentioned to you that they had replaced the lock?
Yes, that he had fixed it or something. But yeah, he said that he had fixed it the week before, just to make sure
The week before.
It was still, yeah.
So then that's the lock on her own bedroom door, not the lock to the outside of the house. That's her own bedroom door's lock?
The main lock he was referring to. I'm not sure. Just from telling me that when we were speaking. So.
But you're talking about Jeff, right? Jeff Kernodle, Xana's dad?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
And he had been there just a couple weeks before working on a lock, but you're not sure what door.
Just the weekend before, and he went to meet Ethan's parents, and went to check on Xana, and it was Dad Week at WSU for Jasmine, so he was over there, and they're pretty close schools. Pullman and Moscow are fairly short distance away from each other.
Did Xana's car have Arizona plates?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
And she used to live in
I
Arizona, though,
believe
right?
I believe she got the car in Arizona, so that's highly likely. Yes.
Do you know what kind of car she was driving?
I don't.
And you mentioned about the roommates, the surviving roommates. Have you had any opportunity to contact them? Do you or Jeff or Xana's sister, Jasmine, do you have their contact information? Are you able to call them to talk to them?
Jasmine and Jeff are in contact with them. Yes, they were all at the memorial today, and yeah.
And what did those girls, Bethany and Dylan, say to Xana's dad and her sister about that morning when they woke up and came upstairs? What did they tell Jeff and Jasmine?
I don't know. You would have to ask them that. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'm sorry.
Do you know, Kara, if Dylan and Bethany came upstairs and were trying to wake Xana? Because they were trying to wake one of their roommates. Do you know if it was your daughter they were trying to wake?
I don't have that answer either. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And did they say that they could not get beyond a locked door, and that's why they had no idea what was on the other side of the bedroom door and called in an unconscious person?
I believe that's right.
What do you know about that?
That they called in an unconscious person. I know that. But beyond that, I don't know.
So it's hard for you to understand as well why, if there was such a terrible crime that had been committed, the roommates might not have seen the evidence of that crime.
Absolutely, yes.
Have they told you at all, Kara, when you can retrieve your daughter's things from that house?
Not yet, no.
I want to ask you, if you can for us, Kara, about Xana. What would you like people to know about your daughter? We've seen pictures and we've seen social media, but you know her heart. What would you like everyone to know about her?
Xana, if you knew Xana, you knew what a light she was to everybody she came across. She was just such a positive influence on everybody around her. I honestly, and I'm not saying this because I'm her mother and biased, it's just the truth. There's nothing negative you could say about her. She was just such a good soul. And she cared. She deeply cared about her friends and her family. And she would never hurt anybody. I don't understand who would want to do anything to any of these kids. They were all great kids, and they were all good friends, lifelong friends, even, aside from Ethan. And Ethan was such a great kid, too. No parent should ever go through this. These kids were good kids. I don't understand.
Have you had a chance?
Who would want to do this.
Have you had a chance to speak with Ethan's parents?
No, not yet.
Are you going to have a chance to speak with them?
I'm sure I will, yes.
I do have another question, and that is what we are all trying to figure out, what the police mean when they say they believe this was a targeted attack. They've gone back and forth about whether it was the kids inside the house or the house, and now they've really rested on the statement that they believe it's a targeted attack. They don't know if it's the kids or the home itself that was targeted. But do you have any thoughts at all about why that house might be targeted, or why any of the 5 roommates might be targeted?
I do not think it was the house that was targeted. I believe wholeheartedly that it was those kids who were targeted. They weren't just acquaintances. These kids were like best friends. They practically were family. These kids were tight-knit. They were good friends. They were like family. They were around each other constantly. They did everything together. How could it not be a planned thing? You know, how could it not have been targeted for all four of
Do
them?
you
to be
know,
taken like this?
Kara, do you know anything about Kaylee moving out? Do you know if she had already moved out of the house when this happened, or was she in the process of moving out because she was graduating in the new year?
Again, that's not a question for me. You may ask her family that. I'm not going to speak for her. I'm sorry.
I think the reason I ask is because I'm just wondering if her room was vacant, if the furniture was gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Right. Do you also know anything about? Did Xana ever say anything about problems at the campus? Maybe talk of a stalker. There's been talk that maybe Kaylee had a stalker. Her dad said that Kaylee had told him that she had a stalker or a problem with a stalker. The police haven't been able to run anything down, but did Xana ever say anything?
Kaylee was an absolute beautiful, beautiful girl. And wouldn't it surprise me if all of these beautiful kids that we lost had stalkers, okay? They were all like rock stars on Instagram and all the social media. They're vibrant, outgoing kids. You can hardly be on social media anymore without gaining some kind of weird stalker. So that wouldn't surprise me. I don't think that that's what it was, though. I will be honest with you. I think it's closer than that. I think it's deeper than that. I think I think they have information that they're not giving us, and it's real fishy. That's what I will say.
When you say you think it goes deeper than that, what do you mean?
I mean, I think it was somebody closer than a stalker, and I don't know who. I'm not gonna specify anything like that. I'm just going to say I think that it was somebody, you know, and I think possibly they may have trusted. That's the only thing I can think of, because how could something like this happen so quickly, so quietly, so without any answer, unless it was somebody super close to them. You know what I mean?
Do you think the person who did this had been in that house before?
I think they knew them. I think they may have even been friends with them. I think it had to have been somebody close to them to have been able to get away with it like this. Just without, you know, it just doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. It had to have been somebody they trusted that was, you know what I mean? I mean, somebody who knew the house well, somebody who knew them well.
Kara, I cannot tell you how.
So quickly, without a trace.
I can't tell you just how sorry I am for what you're going through, and the parents of the other kids. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's unimaginable. Just know that there are hundreds of thousands of people across this country tonight who are feeling for you as well. You know, in spirit, you are not alone. There are a lot of people who care deeply for you and your family, and they want justice for your daughter.
I know, and I thank everyone so much for that. Xana's death will not be in vain. We are going to find who did this. I will not take my final breath until this person is found and brought to justice for these kids. Not just my daughter, but these kids and their families and their friends. We all deserve answers, and the person needs to be brought to justice.
I wish you and your family peace of mind. And I hope that we can, you know, bring you answers soon. Kara, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for telling us your story tonight. And we'll continue to highlight Xana's story as well and her beautiful life, as you mentioned. It's very evident on Instagram and social media just how vibrant she was and how beautiful she was. And she made a mark on this world while she was here. Thank you so much, Kara, for being with us tonight.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes.
There is someone out there, I know there is, that has answers. Please, we all beg you, please, don't be afraid. Please just tell somebody. We deserve that much. Please.
I think you're absolutely right. Someone out there knows something. And it behooves anybody with any small detail even to come forward and tell the police what you know.
No,
It could be
even
the
if you
smallest
think
piece
it's
to the
nothing,
puzzle.
even if you think it's nothing, it is something. I promise you, it's something. Because right now we have nothing.
Kara Denise Northington, thank you for being with us. I think, you know, maybe we can talk again as we all plod through this investigation and the developments. But I'll repeat it. I do wish you peace and serenity in this very difficult time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Go subscribe. They're awesome. I like News Nation a lot. What do you guys think? I mean, she obviously doesn't have like a lot of information because she wasn't really, you could tell, like in her life that much. I mean, because she couldn't really answer. She never went to the house. But I mean, it was sad. It's sad to listen to. And so she thinks it's something deeper and, you know, more connected rather than like, I don't know. I go back and forth. Like I go back and forth where a part of me thinks it's just random serial killer type thing, just a random thing, or not like random in the sense where it wasn't like specifically for like a reason personal to one of the victims. But then I go back to it being something not random and something very personal. So I don't know. I should do that as a poll next too. If it's random or you know what? I wish I would have put an option on this poll for random. Should have been another option, but I think you could only add two. I think you can only add two options, right, guys? Who's here that has a channel? Hey, Mark. What up? What up, Mark? Can you add three? Because you could change the no and the yes to custom answers. And then in my head, I feel like you could only add two more options. So you could have four altogether, but maybe five. It makes me want to go back and change it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, did my camera go out? Hold on a second. I didn't mean to turn my camera off. Hunting humans. So do you think it's going to happen again, guys? Yeah, the mom didn't really, I mean, doesn't know very much information, but like it's interesting, you know, just to hear what she thinks. Hey Regina. I have a couple more videos I want to watch with you guys though. But any like thoughts on this? What you guys thought? Do another poll. Do you think it was okay? Yeah, let me see if I can add a fourth one though. That's the thing. I'm not even sure if I can. So I almost don't want to end this because what if it doesn't let me add another one and then I'm just gonna end this poll and then put the exact same one up. But let me just try. Let me see. I won't know unless I try. But right now, as where we stand, let me just write this down now of what the percentages. So right now we have 34% Maddie, Kaylee 45%, Ethan, wow, 10 or 11%, and then Xana 10%. Okay. So I'm going to end this and see if I could add a fifth one where I put stranger. Or should I put stranger or not stranger? Random. Who do you think was the target? I'll just put, how do I word that? If people just coming in where they understand, no one or any thoughts on how to put it that if somebody just comes in and they see the poll, they understand what I'm asking. Just random or wait, who do you think is the target? No one should I put as the fifth one? No one? Or the house? No target. Yeah, no target. All right, let me see. I don't know why I'm thinking they're not going to let me add anymore, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so who do you think? Okay, so we'll do Maddie. Kaylee. Ethan. Anna. No, it's not going to let me add. So we only have 4 options. Huh. Okay, so what do you want me to do for a poll? We'll do something a different route. We could even do it where we could do it like Ethan and Xana as 1, Maddie and Kaylee as 1, and then yeah, but that's not, it doesn't, no, we can't. I'm just gonna put, let's do another poll. I'll just put do you think let's see, so basically though, from what we have from this poll, that we did do, it was up what, like 10 minutes maybe at the most. So I don't know. I didn't even see how many people got to vote. But from this, it looks like between people are thinking it was Maddie or Kaylee, and the most we have Kaylee 45% and then Maddie 34%. So most people think Kaylee so far. Should I do it again? I'm just gonna put it up again, the same one. And if you think, because I want to get more votes, and then we'll do another poll. But I know it just, so I guess if you think it was random, I'm trying to think how to do this. Just don't vote, maybe? One male. All right, Maddie, Kaylee 3, Ethan and Xana 4. Okay, yeah, let's do it like that. We'll group Ethan and Xana together. And then, okay, I think that's the way we're gonna have to do it. So Ethan and Xana. And then we'll do no target. Okay. Okay, and then no target. Okay. There we go. All right. I don't know, Pikachu. Yeah, I don't know, because this is the best we have. That will just try to like pick what you would think what you're leaning more towards, you know. Hey, Riki. I wish I could, Riki. They only let you do 4 options for these, so. Okay, so the next thing I want to play, so we did that. We did, hold on. I wanted to play, I have a couple more videos. I'm going to do the memorial thing at the end, but hold on. Yeah, I have 2. Okay, so that starts at 47.50. Okay, so let's do that one next, and then I'll do this one after that. Okay, 47.50. So this is News Nation with Enton, Brian Enton. And what's the guy's name? He does that little sidebar thing or whatever it's called. Wait. Hold on one second. That's the end of that. And then, yeah, 47.50. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com
It'll
to
be
find
right
News
after
Nation
this.
on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Why not tell the public who the target was? You've said that this was a targeted attack. Why not tell the public who was targeted? If it was multiple people, it would go a long ways to telling the public what you're looking for and who you're looking for, the type of person you're looking for. Why not do that to alleviate some of the fears out there in the community?
Well, first and foremost, we have the integrity of the investigation to preserve. And we feel like that information is integral to us and how we conduct our investigation. Releasing that to the public may or may not flood us with a lot of information that's not relevant or specific to what we're looking at.
We're continuing our coverage of the University of Idaho quadruple homicide case. I'm talking about the brutal killings of 4 students, 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves, 21-year-old Madison Mogan, 20-year-old Zana Kernodle, and 20-year-old Ethan Chapin. Their bodies were found in their off-campus home out in the college town of Moscow, with a preliminary coroner report indicating that they had been stabbed to death. No arrests have been made. No suspects have been identified publicly. And while we are learning new details, a major issue in this case is communication, particularly by authorities. So I want to bring in someone who can help sort all of this out and give us the latest in the investigation. I'm joined right now by senior national correspondent for News Nation, Brian Entin, who is on the ground in Moscow, Idaho, and has been doing terrific reporting on the subject. Brian, it's great, and thanks so much for having you here on Sidebar.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Can we start with this kind of weird development we're seeing about who exactly was the target of this? Because that narrative keeps changing from law enforcement to the prosecution's office. Can you walk us through briefly about what we're hearing from each side and how confusing it is?
Yeah, it's really, really confusing. Early on, police said that this was targeted, and we asked for more information about that for them to elaborate, and they said, we're not going to give you information, you're just going to have to trust us. So this was like a week ago. On Tuesday, I finally got a sit-down interview here in Moscow with the prosecutor, and I asked him, what do you mean by targeted? Can you explain this? And he said, to my knowledge with the investigation, we don't have any evidence that one of the victims specifically was targeted, but we have evidence, we believe that the residence was targeted. And so that's what we went with. And then yesterday, they basically issue a correction and say that there has been an internal miscommunication between the prosecutor and the detectives, who have been in like constant communication. Works differently in different places, I guess, but the prosecutor is like very involved here in the investigation. So they said there was an internal miscommunication, and now they cannot say that any of the victims or the residents was specifically targeted. They say that that's all still under investigation.
Yeah, just from my point of view, it's sometimes every case is different, but to have the lead prosecutor come out at this point when you don't even have a suspect, I always found that a little curious. Sometimes it's different in each investigation. I found that, but what's the most alarming to me, Brian, is this is not the first time we've had this, right? When this first happened, there was a big question about, is the public at risk? Is there a public threat? And wasn't there a backtracking of that as well?
Yeah, there was. They initially said that the public was not at risk. And then, of course, got pushed on that because they didn't have any information about who the killer was or what happened or a motive, and then had to backtrack on that also and say, well, we can't really say that. So I think they're trying to walk this line. I mean, you know how it is. Like, this is a small town. People are literally freaking out here. Like, I mean, I can't tell you that enough. Like, people don't go out at night. They think the killer is among them here. People have put double locks on their doors. I went to the vigil last night. They have, metal detectors to get in, and police with binoculars up in the balconies. So I think they're walking this fine line of trying to keep the community somewhat calm, but at the same time also being open that they don't really know what happened.
And it's understandable because they've never been in this situation before. And we'll get into kind of what the community is feeling, because my understanding is Moscow's a pretty quiet area. There's nothing like this that ever happens. From the people you've spoken to on the ground, do they have confidence in law enforcement? Do they have confidence in the investigation right now, given the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is saying?
It's sort of mixed, and I think it's also changed in the last 24 hours with this admission of an internal miscommunication. But a lot of people here do have confidence. I mean, it's again, small town. A lot of people know the police officers. The police officers and the prosecutor work very, very closely together. And then there's also the Idaho State Police who have been brought in, and the FBI. There's dozens of FBI agents working on the case behind the scenes, even though the locals are still in charge. So, I think overall people have confidence. The victims' families have made some comments along the way with a bit of frustration. But I think anytime you have something like this that's not solved, there's going to be frustration.
And it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Again, obviously law enforcement knows more than we do. But if you're sitting in Moscow right now and you're walking the streets, like you said, people are very concerned. You mentioned going to the vigil. What was that like?
It was really sad, because I've been very focused on the nitty gritty of the investigation since I've been here, just trying to dig stuff up every day. And, not that you don't always think of the victims, but I was at the vigil last night and it's like, oh my gosh, you hear the stories. I mean, 3 of the families were there talking about these kids. And it's just heartbreaking. I mean, they were all seemed like incredible kids, hard workers. One was about to graduate, had a job lined up, they were in love. A couple had boyfriends. Just terrible. And again, I mean, it was weird at the vigil too. That it was in an indoor arena. You look up in the rafters. They had police with binoculars. They had undercovers. They had a ton of police. The metal detectors I mentioned. There was a very real concern that the killer could show up at the vigil. I mean, even the dean of students told me that they were prepared for that. So, all of that is going on in these people's minds as they're trying to grieve and figure out what's going on in their town.
And it was mostly the people there. Did they know the victims personally? Is it more of a community coming together? Because we know that, and we'll get to it in a minute, members of the law enforcement is asking members of the community, if you know something, if you have credible information, come forward with it. The majority of the people that were there, did they personally know the people that were affected, the families, or were they there coming together as a community?
I think mostly coming together as a community. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds. There may have been 1,000 people there. It was pretty full. But again, Greek life is huge here at the University of Idaho. I mean, it's really big, and all of the victims were in different sororities and fraternities. So, like, everyone in those houses knew the victims, and everybody partied together. There were a lot of people crying, I noticed, at the vigil, which made me think, like, I think a lot of people knew them. The house was also known to be a party house. They had parties every weekend. So I got the sense that they had a very large social circle, and a lot of them were at the vigil.
I thought it was interesting that during this vigil, Kaylee Gonsalves' father revealed that Kaylee and Madison were killed together in the same bed. Now, I am not sure if we knew that beforehand. What did you make of that comment?
Yeah, stunning. We did not know that beforehand. And I wasn't expecting like a big investigative piece to come out during the vigil. So that shocked me. Obviously, there's a sad component. I mean, they've been best friends forever, these two. You look at their social media, they, being best friends since they were little kids. So it was just very sad to think about that they got killed together in the bed, but also interesting when you think about the investigation. I was also thinking to myself, we had asked police many times, can you tell us where they were in the house? Can you tell us who was in which room? And they've always said, no, that would really compromise the investigation. So I was also sort of wondering, are police maybe not too pleased that little detail came out?
And it's possible that they might be sharing more information with the family than they were with the media and the public. Maybe not giving everything, but giving them some sort of comfort or some sort of details to know that the investigation is progressing. There was something that I want to focus on the house for a second, because we actually did a show on this. We did a breakdown of the house. People have been speculating about, well, where were their blood stains? What was collected? We know that the cars have been towed. What is the latest you can tell us about the preservation of that crime scene and what investigators might be doing at this point?
So it is still a crime scene. I was there last time I was there was like at midnight. They've got the crime scene around the whole place, and there is a police car there all the time with an officer monitoring it. They towed the cars away. They said they wanted to do more investigation on the car, so they're in a secure facility. I asked the prosecutor, how long do you plan to keep it this way with the everything closed off there? And he said his advice to the detectives was keep it as long as you think you might need it. So apparently at this point, they think that there's a reason they may need to go back in there. We've seen them go in and out a couple of times, but it's certainly not like it was in the beginning. I mean, you don't see a lot of traffic in and out of that house. It's mainly just being preserved.
Something else about that house that came out, I talked about how sometimes it's a great thing for the community to come forward with information, but sometimes it could be a bit dangerous, particularly on the internet. Internet sleuths, right? They start coming up with conspiracy theories and rumors. And one of the things that's come out is about a neighbor, somebody who lived by this house, Jeremy Reagan, a third-year law student. He himself describes himself as socially awkward, and he is come under particular attention by people on the internet as a suspect. My understanding is he's been ruled out. Can you walk us through what you know about him, because he has become a point of conversation?
Yeah, so he was actually on Banfield on News Nation. I think it was last night or the night before. And basically, he did an interview early on with another news agency. I can't remember which one. And says that, he was sort of pulled out of context and made to sound kind of shady. And you mentioned the internet sleuth sort of zeroed in on that and suddenly sort of like targeted him as a suspect when he never really was a suspect. He had, he admits he lives nearby, but the internet sleuths, listen, they can be really, really great. I mean, you look at other cases, they've literally solved cases before, and it's amazing what they can dig up, the manpower that they have, and they go back through every photo, and they're on Venmo, and they're everywhere looking at every little detail. But in a situation like this, I mean, you got to feel bad for this guy, at least from what we know. It sounds like he just got, called out for something that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah, and that, they looked at whether he had a bandage on his arm and what does that mean, and people will pick upon these things. So it's kind of this weird balance between, obviously law enforcement needs the public's help, but at the same time, only credible information they should really look at. Brian, I know you're really busy and you have to head out to cover more of this case. Before we do, I just want, if you can, to give us a snapshot of the feeling in the community. You talked about how people are really freaking out. They're scared, but they're coming together as well. If you can give us a snapshot of what it is like in that area, in that town, I think that would help a lot of us.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's sad, it's eerie. It hasn't stopped snowing for the last 3 days, which is like kind of another weird element to the whole thing because it was clear before and now everything is covered in snow. It's snowing right now pretty heavily. It just has an eerie feel. The campus is somewhat empty. The school gave the students the option of staying home and staying online if they didn't feel safe on campus, and a lot of people are doing that. So the campus, I'm told, it just feels empty, and when I'm there, it feels empty. And I think people are just nervous. Again, this is a town. People keep asking me, well, where's all the surveillance video? I mean, like, look, I live in Miami. You live in New York. You're used to video everywhere. Towns like this, like, they don't have cameras everywhere. They don't have crime like what we're used to. Around the house, it's very, very dense. There's apartment buildings, there's other houses, but none of them have cameras from what we can tell. I found 2 Ring cameras on some neighbors' houses. I was knocking on the door the other day, and both of them told me they installed the Ring cameras after the murders because they were nervous. So, this is like a community that's just not at all. No one would be used to this level of a gruesome crime, but like they're not used to this at all. And they're really, really nervous.
Brian Enton, senior national correspondent for News Nation, thank you so much for coming on. And I encourage everyone, if you are interested in this case, you want to find out the latest of it, follow Brian on Twitter or on News Nation. Really a great resource. Brian, thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good seeing you.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Oh, thanks, 2 ladies and a ghost. Thank you so much for joining. Aw. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much, members. You guys are awesome. You guys are all awesome. But yeah, I really appreciate you joining. Does anybody want to come up and talk? I have one more video I want to play, but I also was going to maybe go through some groups with you. Oh no. Okay, hold on one second. Here, I'll put the link out if you guys want, if you want to. But I also wanted to share. I'm going through like some groups. Looked at some screenshot Jack with Has his arm around Kaylee's mom.
Wonder if this person.
Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me bring up. And I'll do one more video. And I'm going to share my link if anybody wants to come up for a little bit. Like I said, I'm probably not going to be on too much longer, but does anybody have anything interesting or that they want that they would be interested in coming up and chatting? Here we go, Twitter. Let me see this real quick. If there's anything interesting. See, when I talk about the neighbor, I'm talking about the guy that was at the food truck. That's the guy. See, now I'm thinking, God, every time I said the neighbor, everybody's probably thinking I meant that Reagan guy. That's not who I refer to when I'm talking about the guy that's kind of is on my radar. I'm talking about the guy that was at the food truck that was watching them. That's the one that I'm like, huh, there's something about him that I want to keep an eye on. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. There's a couple like new, like little clips I wanted to play. Hold on 1 second. Like a lot of people have been talking about this. The big debate is is the bag wet at the bottom or is it the shadow? I lightened to one of the pictures, but I don't understand why is people making this whole thing a big deal? These are just people taking out evidence, but they're trying to figure out if these bags were wet. Does anybody know why? I mean, what is the thing they're trying to decide? I've seen this like on a bunch of different posts. Let's see. Here's the obituary. Let's see. Played volleyball, track, soccer. EDM music, going to concerts, spending time with her friends. Hold on a second. Rewatch that. I don't understand this whole thing because it wasn't snowing, so this footprint would have no relevance in it, right? I mean, it just snowed after, so I'm not sure why. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is the interview.
She did.
She did. Stalker or somebody that made her uncomfortable?
She did.
She did. Stalker.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to get the whole interview. Have you guys watched this whole interview?
One that you have a weird feeling about that the girls knew or that comes to mind?
Yeah, I would say not in the immediate circle by any means, but a few of the names that have been circulating around, I think it's hard not to kind of, dig into this. And I don't know how much of that is just because we have so little information from law enforcement and how much of it really is, a sister or a father's intuition.
Can you elaborate at all? I don't know. You don't have to give a name, but I mean, is it someone that she knew or?
I have something to say about that. I just feel like there's been a couple individuals that were cleared very fast. That may not, maybe he shouldn't have been. And yeah.
Share the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
If you can dismiss.
An hour later and we're like, what? And I don't know. I don't know anything about those individuals. I just know they were people that, definitely should have been looked at. And yeah.
I don't know what would prevent you.
Wait, I missed that. Hold on a second. Who are the people they said that they should have looked at? I missed that. Hold on. Let me rewind it.
And yeah.
Share the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
If you can dismiss.
An hour.
Can you elaborate at all? I don't know. You don't have to give a name, but I mean, is it someone that she knew or?
I have something.
Shoot. Sorry.
About that. I just feel like there's been a couple individuals that were cleared very fast. That may not, maybe he shouldn't have been. And yeah.
Share the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
If you can dismiss.
An hour later and we're like, what? And I don't know. I don't know anything about those individuals. I just know they were people that, definitely should have been looked at. And yeah.
I don't know what would prevent you from sharing somebody's alibi.
Yeah, I think that's what we're struggling with. So it's like, we know what we know. We've, fought for Jack, Kaylee's boyfriend, and, we still stand that way. So I did just kind of want to clear that up while we're talking through this ambiguity that, that's not what we're honing in on here.
We don't want to make more victims out of innocent people.
Exactly.
We definitely don't want to do that.
Huh. Who the heck are they talking about? That's interesting. So it's like they have like a lot of ideas of what they're, obviously it's just, nobody knows for sure, but I would love to like pick their brains on like, what are they thinking? What do they know as far as, we're talking about some girls. Hold on, I found another, did she say Bethany? I thought she said Rebecca. Why did I feel like she said Rebecca here? Hold on.
You don't have to give a name, but is it someone that she knew, or?
I have something to say about that.
Oh no.
There have been a couple individuals that were cleared very fast. That may not, maybe he shouldn't have been. And yeah.
Share the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
If you can dismiss.
An hour later, and we're like, what? And I don't know. I don't know anything about those individuals. I just know they were people that, definitely should have been looked at. And yeah.
I don't know what would prevent you from sharing somebody's alibi.
Yeah, I think that's what we're struggling with.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, it kind of sounds like she could be talking about the roommates, but then it doesn't. She doesn't say roommate, so. Well, I have 2 other videos I want to play, but I want to see what else, if there's any other interesting clips that are just clipped out.
Were murdered. It is still a crime scene 2 weeks later. There is a killer on the run. Many students here chose not to come back to school. Those who did come back today said they are traveling in pairs. They're staying inside with the doors locked, and they will not go outside after dark. Classes are back in session at the University of Idaho, but it is noticeably quieter. Many students opting not to return to campus since the killer who stabbed students Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonzalez is still on the run.
I feel like a lot of people are pretty apprehensive and everybody's being very vigilant. Just kind of like avoiding bars in like downtown areas and things like that, walking with a buddy and like that type of thing.
Local and state police have beefed up their presence on campus, and sorority houses have hired private security guards.
I personally won't go out at night alone right now, but I do feel like there is like increased police on campus.
Does it feel less busy on campus today?
Yeah, actually it does. It seems a little less people walking around. For sure.
It's unclear what neighbors near the house where the murders happened have told police, or if police have suspect information that they are not sharing with the public. Investigators acknowledge the sense of fear in the small community and say since the murders, they've received 78 calls for unusual circumstances. Everything from a caller telling police her front door was wide open, another reporting someone shining a light into her window, a window tagged in red spray paint, men shadowboxing people, getting close and touching them in a bar, and a woman receiving a note saying she better watch out. It's been a little more than 2 weeks now since the murders. Parts of the timeline are still missing, but we know according to police that Kaylee and Madison were here the night before the killings at a bar called the Corner Club in Moscow. Investigators say they were here between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. The bartender inside the club told me workers were instructed only to talk to police. At 1:40 a.m., Kaylee and Madison were seen on surveillance video at the grub truck just down the street. Police say they used a private party for a ride back home, arriving back here at the house at about 1:56 a.m. Investigators say the other victims, Ethan and Xana, were seen here at the Sigma Chi fraternity. They returned back to the house around 1:45 a.m., the killings happening soon after. And now, more than 2 weeks later, so much fear and angst that an arrest has not been made.
This could be anybody.
It could be anybody. It really could.
I mean,
You never
everybody
really
knows
know.
somebody's cracked at one time or another.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's just so brutal, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's
Very personal too, I feel like.
And as for those police calls over the last couple of weeks, most of them did not result in an official police report, but it gives you an idea of just how on edge people are in this community. You can imagine we're right near the college campus where this house is. It is still an active crime scene, police going in and out, and a killer still on the run. Natasha?
Absolutely. No, you're not blocked, Henry. I could see you're right there. No, you guys, I know I should just put like a big like running thing when there's slow mode on chat. So many people think they're blocked. I hate that, but it's not. It's slow mode. So if you do it like I have it for 100 seconds because people were saying slow chat, please. So you could only comment every 100 seconds. So if you try before that, your chat won't show up, but it's not because you're blocked. It's not. It's just slow mode. People were requesting that I put it on, so I did. All right, let me play this.
Welcome back, Tracy Walder, former CIA officer and FBI special agent, to speak about this complex investigation. Tracy, thank you for being here.
It's good to see you again, Natasha.
Thank you. And Tracy, what do you make of investigators being back on the scene now, collecting more evidence? And also, how much of a red flag in your mind is it that the lock was replaced the week before? Where is your mind when you hear that piece of information?
Yeah, I was really surprised actually to hear that, somewhat late on a weekend evening, that it looks like local law enforcement, just by seeing their badges, is who went inside. It looks to me like it's some kind of evidence recovery that they were doing. If they were turning lights on and off, I haven't seen the footage, but if that's what they were doing, they were most likely looking for bodily fluids of some sort. And if they were taking it out in paper bags, that's usually what we use when dealing with biodegradable kinds of fluids. That's how we transport evidence of that nature. I'm surprised that 3 weeks into the investigation, they're still collecting biological evidence. Typically, that's something that's collected rather early on. So that's surprising to me, although it could be the result of another lead, which is a really good thing. In terms of the locks being replaced that Xana's mother was speaking about, that's interesting to me. I'd want to know why. Was it replaced simply because, mundane thing that it was just broken? Or was it replaced because she didn't feel safe? So I think that's really a critical thing to look at.
And we know you've been looking at some of the images from the scene from inside of the home. What can you share with us? What is striking to you?
So what's interesting to me, and again, I'm sort of a cyber sleuth here. I'm no longer an FBI agent. I'm no longer in law enforcement. But just in looking at some of the pictures that I've seen that I think folks have probably taken with a long lens into this house, there seems to be evidence taped up on the inside of the kitchen window. So what that indicates to me is that perhaps there is blood spatter. There is some kind of biological evidence there that they did use evidence tape to mark. And so that is an indicator to me that perhaps not all of these victims were killed in their bedroom. We know that Maddie and Kaylee were killed in their beds together, unfortunately, but we don't know for sure about Xana and Ethan. So that indicates to me that perhaps there was some violence that occurred outside of a bedroom.
And our viewers at the start of the investigation shocked at the blood on the exterior wall of the house. Can you explain how that happened? What does it tell us?
So that's a hard thing to really talk about. I'll be honest, I have never seen something like that before. I have seen violent crime scenes. I have never seen blood coming out of the side of the house. I'm not certain if it's been confirmed that it's blood or not. It certainly looks like that to me. That's probably the result of sort of bad lining in the house or faulty sort of caulking of the house, and really an overabundance of blood, quite frankly. If you look at the images, I guess, of the house and where the blood is, that's the room that would have unfortunately been Xana's room. But it's hard to know whose blood that is.
Yeah, the exterior wall outside of her room, and one can only imagine the sheer amount of blood in order for it to drip down an exterior like that. And certainly, the parents speaking to Brian Enton are frustrated in the past weeks. You have been very supportive and understanding of this investigation. I've appreciated that. In the last hour when we were speaking, you were pointing some things out, and we were discussing, for example, how quickly some of these suspects were ruled out. What could be done better as you are taking a bird's eye view of this investigation?
Yes, and I try to be as supportive of law enforcement as possible. I don't think that they are ultimately trying to do the bad thing. I think they are trying to do the right thing. But what I do think could be better is communication, because I think it was Olivia Gonzalez who just said in that clip that you're referencing was that she feels that this absence of information is creating sort of all of these theories and all of these sort of people that are becoming victims that don't necessarily need to be. And so, in my opinion, I do think that communication could be done better on the part of law enforcement and their public affairs office here.
All right, Tracy Walder, certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Okay, sorry. I went down and got some dinner. Anyway, so yeah. So probably all the rumors we're hearing about Ethan maybe not, being in the doorway or not in his room or whatever. It sounds like it probably is legit, huh? So, but I wonder, do you wonder, like, did the guy get him like on his way out or his way in? I wonder. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking on his way out. Maybe. So maybe Ethan hears something. Look, I got something in my hair. My food. Ethan hears something on, upstairs when it happens, and then he wakes up, and then so maybe the killer on his way out encounters him. But you would wonder, it makes you wonder why, if he comes out and the guy gets him like out in the doorway or something, then why does he proceed to go into the room and then kill Xana? Unless if Xana, I guess, wakes up and sees him. But if not, if he's just trying to get out and his targets are them upstairs, he's just trying to get out. Unless if it is on the way in, because then he figures, oh shoot, she probably would have woke up as he's killing Ethan, maybe, so he would have had to. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, hi Michelle. Hey. So I might do. Oh, thank you, Christy. Okay, so I'm gonna play one more thing real quick, and then. Did anybody say they wanted to come up? No, you know what? We're already going on 2 hours, 11 minutes. So let me just play where the parents talk. Hold on, where's it at? 1 second, let me get it. And we'll just end it with that. Let me see the timestamp on it though, real quick. The Celebration of Life service is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna play that. Where we have Jake talks. Maddie's boyfriend, and so that's that way. 8:48 it starts. Okay, hold on. Let me get it because I made a compilation. 8:48. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let's just see it. 8:48.
I know it took a lot of courage to do it, and I'm hoping we can get some answers for you.
Hey, Addie.
Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jake. I was Maddie's boyfriend. I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for being here, and just everybody involved in the investigation, helping, and just everybody showing the unreal support. And yeah, it's we really appreciate it more than we can show right now. So I was Maddie's boyfriend, and she brought me closer to Xana and Kaylee. I knew Xana actually before Maddie, and I met Kaylee through Maddie, and I just, like, they always were amazing to be around. Just Xana was always so energetic and happy, and just a beautiful soul, and Kaylee was always so strong and driven, and just kind, and really genuinely cared about everyone. I didn't get the opportunity to meet Ethan too many times, but from what I had heard from Maddie and all the other roommates, he was also a really great guy, and just none of these people deserve this. So I met Maddie her freshman year of college. We went to high school together, but I was a couple years older and didn't really get to meet her until she came to University of Idaho, and she got in to the Pi-Fi house, and I had multiple friends in there, and they just really took Maddie under their wing and just took her under their wing and were showing, like, introducing them to everybody, and just were always there for her. She was always surrounded by a good group. But yeah, so I met her actually on her bid day of her freshman year. I don't necessarily think she was supposed to go out that night, but luckily she did, and I got to meet her that night. There were times throughout that school year where we got to hang out and just I got to get to know her a little bit, but I didn't really realize that I was in love with Maddie until the summer of 2020. We went to McCall, and I got a boat that summer, and we got to spend a lot of time on the water. We floated the river and just hung out every chance we got. And then when we went back to school, I lived in an apartment, and I would just always invite over the Pi-Fi girls to get an opportunity to hang out with Maddie. We didn't go on our first date until Valentine's Day that next school year, and we went to the Breakfast Club in Moscow, but we didn't officially start dating until April 27th that year. Maddie was a perfectionist. A good story with that would be Kaylee and Maddie's birthdays. They were like a month apart, and Maddie's came first, and she would always get frustrated because Kaylee would always go all out and just make everything perfect for her, and it was like almost like a little competition between the two who could make their birthdays better, and I guess it was a repeating thing throughout the years of them knowing each other. Maddie was the best at spreading love to all of those that were close to her. Every time I talked to her on the phone, she would end the conversation with "I love you," and I would always say it back. She was always smiling and dancing and laughing, and she was really observant of things. She would point things out that she thought were cute, which was something usually pink or tiny. She always loved being comfy. Like, if we're watching a movie or a football game or anything, she just got her comfy socks on, blanket, and was just always making the best of every situation. She was nice, she was funny, she was confident. She knew that she was like she knew her worth. I had, I had to work for her. It was worth it. Just so confident. She knew that she was beautiful inside and out, but she was also humble about it.
Loved ones speaking about these students who again were killed back on November 13th at this celebration of life service. Some viewers going to be seeing a 2-minute break.
Like when she asked, she was the type of person that when she asked you how your day was, it was genuine. She really wanted to know. Like when I would talk to her, she could tell me about all of her friends and what they were up to. She was just always aware of everything. She was also really funny. All her jokes really would come out of nowhere, and you'd have to do like a double take. Just be like, was that the cute little blonde girl that just said that? She would always express her love to everybody with words and hugs. She's really good hugger. She was always someone for her friends, her family, me, and just really anybody that needed advice or a shoulder to cry on, or a person to hug. Maddie was the go-to for that. She always loved like the whole process of like in Moscow, just getting ready with all of her friends. She would be helping all of them do the makeup. And I'd just be sitting on the bed observing all these girls doing what they do. So Maddie was my best friend. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed. But I was lucky enough to be able to explore life with Maddie for about 2 years. She was the one who knew me best, and she saw me at my highs and my lows, just helped me through everything. She was always there for me, pushing me to be better and to spread positivity. I think that's what she wanted. And she was the person that I loved the most, and she loved me the most too. And I know she would want us to be strong and be as positive and happy as we can through this time, and just know that we have her watching over all of us. And I know she's in heaven, and I can't wait to see her again and just give her a big hug. That's all I got. I love you, Maddie.
Man, sad. So what's the next one?
Our family knows most of the time. And as a teen.
Hold on, this is Maddie's parents. Or wait. No, this is, hold on, why is it not? There we go.
Thank everyone for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. Maddie has truly been a blessing in our lives. Watching her grow and mature into the amazing woman she become is truly priceless in our hearts. She was the world to us. Maddie was such an easygoing, loving child growing up. She was patient and relaxed toddler most of the time. And as a teenager, she didn't really give us many worries or trouble. Anyone who knows our family knows that we're Steelers fans. I know. Favorite memory for me was watching the game with her, and every time the Steelers scored, I'd pick her up, and I'd hold her high in the air, and we'd celebrate together. And she'd always just laugh so hard at that. We'd just crack up and have a great time. She loved the water. She always looked forward to going boating and fishing with her papa, her Uncle Dave, and Aunt Nadine. She loved going on the boat with her friends and her boyfriend Jake, and we hardly ever saw her during the summer for the most part. Maddie was always inquisitive, curious, and eager to learn about everyone and everything. She absolutely loved younger children in her life, adored all animals, and never said no to any type of family gathering. Maddie loved to travel, especially with her best friend Kaylee and her family. They were both in love with life and exploring. That's why they hit it off so well when they met. They were inseparable from the 6th grade on. They were truly sisters, and our families grew bigger and better from that. The two of them were a force not to be reckoned with. They stuck together through everything. Maddie had such a bright future, as all these kids did. The world is a darker place without them, but the light of their love and memories will always guide us all. Thank you all for joining us in this celebration of life of these beautiful souls. We love you, Maddie, Kaylee, Santa, and Ethan. Thank you.
I want to thank you guys all for coming here today. This is the Gonzalez family. We got Jack up here, and I want to thank Xana's family for putting this together. I didn't have to pick up the phone. I didn't have to write an email. I didn't have to do anything. And I know that an event like this large with all these things took a lot of people, and they volunteered their time. And we want to thank who you know if you were a part of this. I can't say everyone by name, but I want to thank you. We're going to say a couple stories about our girls and help you guys understand how much we love them and how we miss them, and how we hope this community can get strong and heal, and mainly just understand what we lost and how much the world has lost with these 2 girls and these other 3 girls in Zion and Nathan. All right, my wife will read a poem that she had on her page, Kaylee, and here you go.
I came across this going through Kaylee's stuff. It's called Milk and Honey.
Most important is love, like it's the only thing you know how. At the end of the day, all of this means nothing. This page, where we're sitting, your degree, your job, the money, nothing even matters except love and human connection. You, who you love, and how deeply you love them, how you touch the people around you and how much you give them. Reflection was getting me.
Kaylee was our middle child out of 5. She was always competitive. She was smack dab middle, so Steven and Olivia were a little bit older. Autumn and Aubrey were a little bit younger, so she kind of had to figure out where to fit in, and she definitely did. There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys, or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters and you know, make sure they knew that she was older and they were the little sisters. Kaylee is a huge part of our family. The dynamics of our family will never be the same. We know this is God's will. It's hard to accept. But she was a beautiful girl. She started junior high with Maddie, as you all knew, and our family became 6 very quickly. You know, there was a lot of friends throughout this family that came and gone and went and whatever, and we're still friends, but we don't see him that much. That wasn't Maddie. Maddie and Kaylee were by each other's sides every day. They went to other countries together. Karen took them to Hawaii together. We took them to Mexico together. They went to college together. They went to high school together. They lived in their own apartment together. They were sisters. She was one of ours. And we're just heartbroken. And we know it's just going to take time for everybody to heal. If that's possible. I just pray that it is. Thank you, everybody.
You guys want to say anything? We're going to share just a little bit of a story so you could understand how Kaylee was. My father, who also passed away this year, he's that guy that sits in the lazy boy chair and has the controller and owns the room. Well, when he wasn't looking, he'd go probably get himself a beer or something, and Kaylee would grab his controller and pull the batteries out of it and go hide them.
Like 2 years old, like 2 or 3 years old. Little.
Yeah, she was 2 years, 3 years old. My dad would rant and rave that somebody was hiding the batteries, and we just thought he was kind of losing his mind because it was happened like 4 or 5 different times, and Kaylee would just sit on the couch with a big grin on her face and just watch what my dad would do and how upset he would get. And I believe that's around the time that my dad named her K-Bug.
Bug us.
Because she bugs everyone. And it stuck because it was appropriate. She wasn't perfect. She was our little girl. She was ornery, and we loved her for that, you know. It was okay that was her signature, and nobody tried to change her.
Another thing. Similar to the battery story, back in the day when we had cordless phones, you know, 3 or 4 throughout your house, going to my sister's, her favorite thing to do was to throw them in the toilet. So she would tell me, Christy, Kaylee threw the phones in the toilet again. I'm like, I'm sorry, sissy. I'm sorry. Can we dry it out? Is it done? Was it clean water? I don't know how many phones I had to replace because for whatever reason, she would throw those cordless phones in the toilet.
All right, I think that's everything. Is that everything? You want to say something?
Oh gosh, so I'm Olivia. I don't even know if I need this mic. I have a loud voice. I apologize. I'm Kaylee's older sister. And I mean, everyone's kind of said it. She was kind of a pain in our butts, but she was our pain in the butt, and we loved her. But one story that I, for whatever reason, thought about when I walked up here, and I haven't thought about in a long time, was one time my sister came to me and she said, Olivia, I think I got something stuck up my nose. And I said, whatever, what do you mean you have something stuck up your nose? She said, I feel like there's something stuck up there. So I go and I press on her nose, and there's a really hard lump in there. So I'm like, we're gonna have to go talk to Mom. This is serious. So we take her up to Mom, and sure enough, she had a bead stuck up there. So we wind up going over to our aunt's house, Aunt Tammy, to kind of try to fish out this bead, and eventually we get it out, and we ask her, we say, Kaylee, how did you get that bead up your nose? And she goes, I don't know. It must have popped up there when I fell off the bed. And I don't know why I thought of that story. I don't know what it says about her, but that was one of my favorite stories of Kaylee.
She was a turd.
Family members here sharing some emotional but also some happy stories here at this celebration of life service. We're going to continue listening, and some viewers going out, though, to a 2-minute break.
Working through together, you really have to just take care of each other. You got to reach out and hug the people, make yourself uncomfortable, and just be part of the healing and take advantage of every opportunity that you can tell your child that you love them. And don't let them walk out that door without giving them a hug, even if they're annoyed and they don't want you and you're embarrassing. Just say, I'll hug you longer if you just don't get this over with. So if that's, it's going to take that. If this community is going to help us, we all know that we can't do it alone. And I thank you guys all for here and starting that process right here in our own little community. Thank you, guys.
Understood me more than Xana. First, hi, I'm Jazzy, and I'm Xana's sister. First, I want to thank you all for coming. It's really nice to see so many familiar faces and so many people that had so much love for Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, and Madison. Xana was such a light in my life and so many others. She was the person I could relate to the most, and she knew and understood me more than anyone. Losing her is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and it has left me heartbroken. Xana was the funniest person I knew and made me laugh every time I spent time with her. I have so many memories and stories I could share about her, but I know remembering the times I had with her brings me so much joy and happiness. Everyone thought we were twins growing up, and I remember in some of our last moments together, we were in her room laughing in the mirror because neither of us thought we looked alike, and her friends just laughed. She was my baby sister, but she was so much wiser and experienced so much more in life than I ever have. She never let an opportunity pass her by and enjoyed all the moments she had. She was always doing something fun, and in any situation, it was always so much more fun with Xana there. I remember I would get so mad because I always thought my friends liked her more than me, but she was a person that everyone enjoyed being around. She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know. I remember her getting so mad at me for caring about the little things that didn't matter. She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her. I know she would want me to cherish the times I have with the people I love. She would want me to make the most out of every situation. She would want me to have fun, continue my journey in life, and constantly tell people how much I love them and they mean to me. I remember going to hang out with her about a couple months ago. I remember telling her that we should try to do a sister date every week to spend more time with each other before I graduate. I remember her loving the idea, and her friend Ella reached out to me and told me that Xana was so happy that we were going to start doing that. I love her so much, and I wish I would have spent more time with her and had the chance to continue spending time with her. I know she loved living in her house in Moscow with her friends. I would hear so many stories about her and her roommates, and it made me so happy to know she had such great friendships. She really knew everyone and was friends with everyone. She had the best friend group and had friends in so many different sororities, fraternities, and organizations. I was so happy she was dating Ethan, and Ethan was such an amazing person. Xana never had a boyfriend before, and my dad and I wondered if she was ever going to get one. Ethan was that special, though, because I know she was picky with boys. They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so much love for her. They had something so special and everyone around them knew. It's comforting to know that they're all watching down on us from heaven now. Casey Johnson is a best friend of ours, and her mother, Susie Graham, was like a mom to us. Susie had a long fight with breast cancer and unfortunately passed away last year. Casey texted me a couple weeks ago saying, "I know Xana isn't alone up there in heaven. I feel my mom in the sunshine, and yesterday the sun went through my window and fell right on her urn. I think that's her way of telling me that she's got Xana and that she's made it up there to heaven." That gave me a little bit of peace, and I wanted to share that with you. This text made me so happy and helped comfort me a lot. I know they are all in the best place together, and one day we will all be reconnected. I am so thankful for faith, friendships, and family through this and everything else. Xana, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did. I love you so much, Xana, and I hope you're feeling the most happy, content, and loved in heaven right now.
Well, I'm Jeff and Xana's dad, and I think that Jasmine pretty much said it all, and everything that needs to be said, except for, we're gonna miss her. We're gonna miss her more than anybody knows, and I know a lot of you people, the ones that know her, are gonna be right there with us. It's gonna be a tough road. That kid was just, she shone light to the day when you see her. And she taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me how to be a dad. And I didn't know that until she was gone, It's like, Xana, you taught me something. I didn't know that. She's like, she really became the woman that she was going to become at the last weekend I saw her, which was a week before that. She was taking care of the house. She was taking care of things. She took my keys from me and said, "You had too much to drink, Dad. You can't drive. We'll get you a ride to your hotel." She was being the mom to all the kids and the girls, and I was really happy to see her there happy. And that's what I remember that weekend, is her being happy with the other girls, taking care of stuff. The house was beautiful, taking care of everybody. Everything was just about as good as it ever could have been in my picture as a parent. What it was going on in U of I, good grades. So I can remember that. Doesn't make it better, but it makes it a little bit easier. To know that it wasn't like it was, there was issues, because there wasn't. We'll never know, So, anyways, that's all I got, and thanks everybody for coming. And we're good.
Thanks everyone for coming. My name is Kim, and I am Xana's aunt. And I'm going to give you my testimony today. At first, when we heard of the news, I was so angry that she was taken away, all these special people. And you never think it's going to happen to your family. And then I had to sit back through my tears and realize that I really was blessed. I was fortunate to have Xana live with me for a couple years. And the memories I want to share are funny. My kids were grown, and I had Jasmine and Xana for a while. And I'll never forget the time I go into the bathroom. I don't know if you remember this. And she'd found my Crisco, and she wiped it all over her body like it was body lotion. Everywhere, all over the bathroom. Thank goodness there's Simple Green. Needless to say, I just thought, I couldn't believe it, how you do. And another fond memory I have is we'd go to bed at night, and I lived in a house that the floor would squeak. And Jasmine would go, "Aunt Kim, Xana won't go to bed." And she's keeping me up. So I'd get out of bed and our floor would creak. And you could hear her little feet run to bed. And after a while, it became a game. I never even went to check on her. All I had to do was get up and she'd hear the floor creak. And then she became a teenager, and I saw less of her. But I do have the fond memory of her calling me. She still called me then and said, "Aunt Kim, it's the prom or a dance. Can we go get our nails done?" So I have those beautiful memories to share of going with her to get our nails done. And then she went off to college. And I don't know, I heard less and less. Once in a while, she'd text me back, but not too often. And I know she was busy with her life. I mean, you know, we were all that age once. And then I heard that she found Ethan and fell in love. And at that point, I thought to myself that I'm so glad she found love, because we all really don't know what love is until we love. And as short as her life was, I'm glad she got to have that experience. And through all this, like I had a whole bunch of stuff in my mind, but through all this, I hope we can all look through that dark tunnel and see the light and follow that light. And I pray that we have justice someday. I say these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
There is. Okay, so I have a few things I was just poking around. So did you guys see this real quick? Hold on a second. It was sad, huh? Man. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Yes, Kate. So did you guys see this here? Like I learned about this website from the Kylie case, the VC or VSCO. But did you guys see? Look. Can you guys read that? Hold on a second. The time. So maybe that's not even making it any bigger. Oh, I guess it's making the so look at the date and time. So I mean that's how that works, right? That means that she posted that day, right? She posted it at November 13th, 3:33 a.m., which is probably around the time that this happened, right? So she was up, but I guess we never really heard her say that she was sleeping. We heard that she thought that it was an after party. So I guess it doesn't really go against what she was saying, that she was up. She could have been doing this in her room. But isn't that just weird that she posts her and Kaylee 3:33 a.m. that night, when that could have been like the time that everything happened, right? Isn't that weird? Yeah. She actually posts 2 pictures at 3:33 a.m. So she posts this one and there's one more. Where is it? This one. So I don't know who this person is, but they're both. So 3:33 a.m. So she posts both. But it's just weird, the one with Kaylee and then whoever this is. So this is kind of weird, huh? All right, so then wait, there's a couple other things I wanted to show you as I was poking around. Okay, so I didn't even realize that they had put this out, what, the 3rd? Yesterday? Or no, this was a couple days ago, I guess. Moscow Police Department. So it's just like a update. Following information, the facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th. Throughout the investigations, detectives have collected the following. So over 2,645 emails through the tip line, more than 2,770 calls to the tip line, 1,084 digital media submissions to the FBI link, 113 pieces of physical evidence, 4,000 crime scene photographs, multiple three-dimensional scans of the residence. At this time, no suspect has been identified, and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. There is speculation without factual backing, stoking community fears, and spreading false information. We encourage referencing official releases for accurate information and updated progress. Tips. Detectives are looking for context to the events and people involved in these murders to assist with the ongoing investigation. Any odd or out of the ordinary events that took place should be reported. Our focus is the investigation, not the activities. Your information, whether you believe it's significant or not, might be the piece of the puzzle that helps investigators solve these murders. Information can be submitted tip line 208-883-7180. There's the email we have. So but that was from a couple days ago. And then what else I wanted to share? Hold on, I think it's over here. Yeah, the sleep with Maddie. Okay, I moved her stuff into Kaylee's room. Hold on. There was just one more thing I wanted to show you, and then I want to show you a couple screenshots, but there was something, hold on. Something on this. No. 1 second. Right here. Give me 1 minute. Here, yeah. I don't know. But here, let me do the screenshots that I took while I was. No, hold on. Okay, so here's some of the screenshots. Let me go from this all over. I remember this was just a picture. That's Ethan. Okay, oh, this is that one of Jack or the neighbor. We're thinking it's the guy from the food truck, I think. Hold on. This is just a couple pictures of Ethan and Xana. Cute. You are loved by everyone. The energy and happiness you brought can never be replaced. You brought an incredible amount of love and joy into my life. And I was able to do. Aww. So here's a couple pictures. As cops prepare to turn over the house back to its landlord, the home is frozen in time with remnants of those who live there. This one's not letting me zoom in for some reason. Hold on. Come on. Wait, there was one I missed where, hold on. There's one that looked like there's blood. Not the other one, but there's another picture. I think I missed it. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Where is it? Where is it? Is it right here? I feel like I missed it. I missed pointing it out. That's why. Yeah, look. What is that? No, that's probably not blood, is it? Look at that. You think? But why would it be doing that? That would have been from the upstairs. I mean, but you think you would have seen it. It's just so weird. Do you guys think that is blood? I don't know. Okay. I know. So it's like, gosh. And no, that's not the one I wanted. Okay, so this they say this is the neighbors. Is it? A Moss-Hauer police officer talks to residents of a neighboring home as part of a homicide investigation. 1122 King Road on Sunday. Remember, this is the one where there's the camera. Why was I was thinking it was actually their house. But it looks like they might have got that footage then. So I wonder if that picked up anything. Hold on. Ew. And then, hold on, let's see. This police having no suspects is factually incorrect. Police have had a number of suspects they've looked at, but they have no suspect they're willing to name. You don't name them unless you have a purpose for that. That's not unusual. Oh, this one. So it says one of the victims in the gruesome murder of 4 students in Moscow, Idaho, apparently made a 911 call from a nearby college bar the night before the slaying. Internet sleuths believed. Did you guys hear this? So it says, so about the interview where the dad, because remember, I even pointed that out. I'm like, what does he mean that she wasn't afraid? He, like, they didn't call anybody during the time. So I was a little bit confused what he meant by that. Remember when I said something when we were watching that interview, the first interview? So this is saying about the interview with the dad saying she did not or didn't call 911. I understand there's a lot of debate over what he actually said. So obviously I guess they're talking about something else. Wait a minute. Well, let me see what it says. Obviously, no one called 911 during the actual assault, but it could be referring to a prior call. I found a timeline of events on a site that referenced a 911 call from the bar the prior night. This timeline was posted long before the interview we are debating. So potentially they called it 911 earlier about an incident at the bar. Oh, shoot. Let me go back to that post so I could read what else they said. But what I was thinking, because it said, wait, where does it say? Hold on a second. Okay, I'll go back to that in a minute, but let me go to the other ones. So then I found this. It says, pause to read the term geosnap is a Snapchat letting that allow your location to be untraceable. So it says, early in the investigation, this photo was circulating. Someone posted it to Snapchat as a geosnap the morning of the murders. It pinged near the victim's residence at 3:30 a.m. I'm sure the police are aware of who posted it, etc. Also worth mentioning, it was cold. Maybe people wearing ski masks, but still interesting. And then here is that same, and this says, okay, so I looked at Dylan's VSCO. Oh, I just had her page up, so I'm going to bring it back up. It says she got a photo left with her boyfriend on there, both wearing ski masks. The right photo is rumored ski mask photo that apparently, so this one that apparently seemed to be around the house at the time of the killings from Snapchat. Could be a coincidence. I can't even tell if that's a girl or a guy. Would you say it's a girl or a guy in that? Oh, then I just took, let me see what these are. Okay, well, I don't know if I actually read all of these. Oh, my computer's like really slow. Come on, come on. Keeps freezing up. Huh. Why is it not pulling it up? Don't know. I don't know. No, I know. It's just interesting that it was around that area at the time, around the time that it happened. I mean, that's kind of interesting. I mean, you got to admit, I don't know, those aren't pulling up, but let me go back to, maybe it was Twitter that I wanted to. No. All right, hold on a second. Let me go back to that Facebook post. Let me try to find it really quick. That had that, because I want to read the rest of that thing. It was kind of interesting. I wanted to see what it said. Yeah, it's in this one. Okay, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna find it. All right. Oh, what's that? Look, let's see. I had to write a separate post about this photo because someone pointed out something that could possibly be very important. The Jack in the Box bag was Anna's name. Several people said the nearest Jack in the Box was 8 miles away near the WSU campus. Assuming this is where Xana and Ethan went after the frat party, opens up a world of new possibilities. Huh. Yeah. but it could be even old. It might not even be from that night. You never know. You know, college kids, I mean, sometimes you keep bags around, but yeah, it is interesting. One of the rumors I keep hearing with the Idaho case is that the killer left a message in the home, the rumor has. Huh. The rumor has morphed into a message written on the wall in blood. Yeah, these are just rumors, guys. But I wonder if there's some sort of truth in between. Hence why the police are saying this was a targeted attack, which I know can mean many things as well. Yeah, I wonder what. What? Why is this a thing for a fraternity at their front door on Google Maps? I don't know. I'm trying to find that one post so I could. Read the rest of it. Huh. Here's them towing the red Jeep. Which I keep going, like, I have that in my head because that one person that emailed me and said that they were a neighbor and they saw somebody in a red Jeep around that time pull up, somebody gets out, and then a little bit later, they seen a guy running out towards the back. So, like I said, that could have been just somebody lying. Who freaking knows? You never know with this stuff. Yeah. So yeah, remember this video is in one of Xana's TikTok videos where it goes like real quick to a bunch of people with this little animal. So one of them is this picture, which is Jack Showalter. Let's see, inside sources. Her boyfriend's dad got a lawyer and said they would not provide DNA, her or her boyfriend. She is known drug user and tested positive for drug use that morning. Her boyfriend is a wannabe thug interested in initiating himself into the gang. Who are we talking about? Who? Does anybody know who they're talking about here? I don't know. Oh, Dylan. Oh, they're talking about the roommate Dylan. Okay. Yeah, but their DNA would be in the house. There'd be a reason for it to be in the house anyway. So that's a tough one. Stalking, weight 6 feet tall. A bunch of little accounts of like, well, oh, here it is. Here's the, okay. So let's see. Here's that post I was reading. It says, I could try to make it bigger. So potentially they called 911 earlier. Let me try to make it a little bit. There we go. Oh, no. Yeah. About an incident at the bar and then let it go. The dad then states her text just prior to the assault showed no sense of fear. Yeah, that is okay. That is the right part. The interview. Remember, I was like, what does that mean? Like no sense of fear. They were attacked in their sleep. Nobody talked to them during it, but this is explaining maybe this is just hearsay, but somebody's saying this is what it is. That supposedly there was a 911 call the night before at a bar. Okay, so the dad then states her text just prior to the assault showed no sense of fear or hearing noises at the home. It was a call placed from the bar the night before. I'm sure those records would be withheld at this time, which is why we don't know about it. We are all hearing different things when listening to the word in the interview, that word in the interview. But most are assuming he's referring to a 911 call during the assault, which of course doesn't make sense. But the 911 call happening earlier or the night prior could make sense. And it might be why the family is now saying they believe the stalker story. I could be wrong, but I think it's odd of him to mention a call during a valuable interview time unless it was relevant. There would be no reason for her dad to clarify on the news that she didn't call 911 during the assault. They were asleep. We all know that. So why even mention it unless it was relevant? Perhaps he was just kind of thinking out loud and making random statements about what he knows. And he didn't realize this comment would be analyzed like this. Just saying that anything is possible at this point, and until it is confirmed, I'm still undecided. Huh. Okay. So maybe. I mean, we're hearing like different scenarios of why, like different things, like as far as like that. And then as far as the unconscious person, I mean, because they're being so like private, like law enforcement, we're trying to make sense out of what all this stuff means, you know? So let me see if there's anything else. Sees contents of 3 dumpsters, the detective did. Who's this? What? Scary.
This picture last
So
night.
yeah, I guess the most concerning thing is this thing right here. That's so weird. November 13th, 3:33 a.m. Dylan, the surviving roommate, posted her on her VCSO page. Post a picture of her and freaking Kaylee. What do we make out of that, guys? She was awake, but like I said, I guess she never said she wasn't. But just how weird. It could just be a coincidence, but at the time that we think stuff happened, she's over there posting a picture of her and Maddie. Weird, weird, weird. And then I wanted to bring this up because I was talking about this earlier, just to remind. Just because we saw, so Jack Kadovic he's in Ethan's fraternity. I just want to bring up that one screenshot because I said I would and I never did, just about the payment thing. Did anybody ever make out, like, what do you guys think about that Jack's sister paying? Well, let me find it. Where you at? Where you at? Is it up here? We're just gonna have to go through this. Hold on, here it is. So Ethan pays Jack. Let me just. So Ethan pays Jack like that day at 10:40. He pays him and says thanks. But then there's the one where she pays him. Hold on. I gotta find it. What was that? Sorry, I'm just trying to find that real quick. Right here. Molly pays Jack's sister Liz at 3:45 p.m. that day, but it says 3:30 a.m. It's just so many weird things to this. And now that we see that, then Dylan. So we have that, and then we have Dylan, the surviving roommate, posting this at 3:30. I mean, just something. It's just, I don't even know. I guess weird coincidences. What do you guys make out of it? Meaning anything, or just I mean, I guess it would be more suspicious if she did claim she was sleeping, but we don't know, like nobody's heard from her. We hear hearsay that this is what she said, but we don't know for sure that that's exactly her words, right? Like it's just like hearsay stuff. So like what did she actually say? I wish she would make like a statement like what, but maybe she's not supposed to with the investigation, but like maybe I wish the roommates would like say, hey, this is what happened. I was sleeping at this time, or I was awake. I heard this. I locked my doors. I mean, I know that's what's going around, but it's just still hearsay. So, but yeah. All right, guys, I think that's it because there was some other stuff and I don't remember which group I was looking in that I was going to show you. But I thought I had it marked. I tried to keep it on there. Now I don't remember what I did with it or which group because I have a lot of groups that I look, that I'm in and oh, thanks. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Well, no, it would be their time. What do you mean though? It would be the time of who posted it. It would have to, why would it? I mean, it would be her time. Are you sure? Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, if I post it and it's under my page, it's going to go under my time zone. That doesn't even make sense that it would be under a different time because this is on her page. So yeah, my time it would be 1:30 or whatever you're saying Eastern time. But when they're talking about the murders that happened in Idaho, it's at 3 their time. You know what I'm saying? They're going by their time zone. So yeah, in my time zone it's a different time, but it's in their time zone it's around they think around 3 or somewhere around that time. So that would be their time. Am I making sense? So no, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say, oh, in California, they're reporting on a murder that happened at uh like 1 a.m. That means Pacific time, their time, it happened at 1 a.m. But at my time, it would be 4, right? Because I think I'd be 3 hours ahead. So my time, it would have happened at 4 Eastern time. But when you're talking about where it happened, it's that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's 1 their time or 3 there. You know what I'm saying? So no, I think I disagree with you. Well, I do disagree with you on that actually. Yeah. There's 3:33, whatever time period she's in posting it. And then we know the murders probably happened when they say the time the murders happened, they're going by Idaho time zone, not Eastern. So yeah, it's going to be different my time, but you know what I'm saying? Hopefully people are following it. But yeah, I know, Joe, it is weird. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it. Thanks for chatting. Sorry I kept waiting to see if anybody wanted to join panel, but it didn't sound like anybody did, so I just didn't even share the link because I was trying to see if anybody even wanted to before I shared it. But yeah, interesting though. I feel like so we know we know some stuff. Like I said, basically most stuff we know is from Kaylee's parents. Like the fact that Kaylee was and Maddie were in the same bedroom. Well, his theory, or well, he did act like maybe they said something, but who the target is, he's making it seem like it's either Kaylee or Maddie. And he did insinuate that well, I don't even think it's insinuation. He did say that he talked to the law enforcement and that he's not supposed to say. So it sounds like maybe they do have somebody that they are looking at. I'm trying to think what else we just went over. What else is new? Yeah, there's not really much, but I'll keep trying to find stuff. Shared shot. It's from her page. Is that what you're saying? This is from her VCSO page. No, it's not shared. It's just straight from the website. See, this is straight from her VSCO. So you could go to. So no, it's not shared. I'm sure that there is people sharing it, but I'm actually on her actual account or her page or whatever, the VSCO. So yeah, that's what it says. So there's 2 pictures shared at 3:33. This one and then this one, which I'm not sure who Dylan is in the picture with. I don't know who that other girl is, but this is Kaylee. So Dylan and Kaylee in that one. But let's see what else we got. I want to see the one. Didn't they say that there was somewhere on here is where there's a picture of her in a mask with her boyfriend. I thought they said it was on her VSCO. Let's see if we could find it. Sorry, I'm going through fast. I know. I'm just trying to see if there's any pictures of them in masks, just to see where that came from. No, she's got a lot. If it's, I don't know how much. Is that the same guy that was in the other more recent ones? Huh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well. I don't know. I think I'm just going to stop here. All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Email. Oh, wait, hold on real quick. I want to see if anybody emailed me because sometimes, yeah, let me see if there's anything worth sharing in this email. Because sometimes I like end it and I'll be like, oh, and I'll look through my emails after and be like, oh, shoot. I wish I would have shared. It does look like I got some emails. Let's see. Yes, definitely that. Okay, let me see what the screenshots you guys sent me. I downloaded them now. Let me see what they are. Okay, so cryptic map and anagram. Okay. Oh, that's the other video I was going to play, the neighbor I wanted to play again since everybody's talking about, but I know you guys have all seen it. The only reason I brought it up is because it looks like somebody sent me a clip of it. I actually have it downloaded while we were watching the other video I was going to play because everybody talking about like the neighbor, but I'm talking about the Reagan guy. But I think I'm just going to wait because I mean, it's not like you guys haven't seen it, right? Here, somebody sent me a picture of Jack. Like at this. Hold on, wait a minute. Shoot, I didn't know I would share my screen. If I just, oh man, if I just freaking dox somebody, I apologize. I didn't realize I was sharing my screen. I'm sorry. The people that email me. God, I suck. That's the only reason I take down my screen when I'm going through my emails because I don't want to dox people like your emails. Are you guys mad? Hold on. Oh, thanks, Dominic. Oh, that's an old one. Hold on. I didn't? Yeah, I did. What do you mean? I went through my emails. So I did. All right, hold on. Oh, that's actually for the Kaylee case, it looks like. Some of these are. I think that's what it is because it says Prosser. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to share. There's nothing really too much to share, but here's a picture of them all. Oh, I know. Hopefully it'll be all right. Just email addresses, but sometimes it's like the real names or whatever. But you know, it'd be hard to like link who the name matches to the real person. So I think it's okay. Anyway. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you. We'll chat this week sometime. Oh, thanks, Steel Ribbon. Chico, Addie, Ali F, Jasmine, thank you guys. VP. Yeah. No, I think you're misunderstanding. I'm not arguing that, Allie. What I'm saying is wait, if you post something at 5 PM in California, it will show posted at 8 PM for someone on the East Coast. Oh. Hold on, let me try to figure this out because but it's yeah, it'll come up like that's the time that I'll be able to see it. But if that's on her page and it's posted at a time, it's gonna post the time of her time zone though. You know what I'm saying? It's all like relevant to where you are. I mean, if she posted at 3:30, yeah, it's not gonna show up till well that they're actually behind, so I think it would be 5:30 on my end. But the time that it's gonna say on her page, it's gonna say 3:30 because it's hers. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but that it would just be all depending on who's looking at it. It's just gonna match up. I don't know how to even explain like what I'm thinking, but um, so are you guys okay? How many people are thinking that she actually posted that at? So it would be 1:33 instead of 3:33 on her time. Are you guys saying that that's what you think? That when Dylan posted it, it was 1:33 her time? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, but it would be I'm still I don't know, I'm still not I see what you guys are saying, but I still think that it still would be that she posted it at that time though. So you're saying when you look at yours says 2:30. I mean, you guys see, it obviously says 3:30 for me, but you're saying yours says 2:33 when you look at yours, OJ? Where are you at? What time zone are you at? I mean, but you know, you see that I'm not lying. I showed you what it shows. Like, so I don't even know what you're trying to say. Am I like maybe I'm blind? Do I not know a difference between 2 and 3? I mean, I showed you what it shows on my end. So it's not so I'm just so you're it does say 3:33 on my end. So all I'm asking is what it says 2:33 on your end? Is that what you're saying? And what time zone are you in then? Let's see if it makes sense then. Oh, retro, hey, yay, yay. You're central. So that wouldn't even make sense because I mean, you saw it says 3:33. I'm not so if yours says 2:33 and you're central, does that make sense? Hold on. Because you're I guess. Wait, central time is that central time? Wait, aren't you the same time zone as them? I'm Eastern, yeah. Hold on a second. All right, you got me wondering now. 1 second. So Idaho. Mountain time. So Idaho has 2 different time zones in theirs. So they have northern part observes Pacific time and southern observes mountain time. So I don't know. Yours says 1:33. Well, somebody, so what would theirs show? So if they're Pacific or mountain time, let's see, what would that mean then for their time? When was it posted for their time? If you're viewing it, look at 3:30 a.m. and you screenshot it, it will show 3:20. Okay, you guys, I don't even know what? What is that? Now that doesn't make any sense to me. 3:30, but if you view it, it'll say 3:20? What? All right. Just when I thought I was starting to understand how the internet worked, I have no idea. Why would it be 10 minutes off? Now you're really confusing me about that. That doesn't even match up with time zones, though. Hold on. Now I can't even find that picture anymore. Did they just take that picture off? Now it's not even coming up anymore. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, mine says 3:33. So I don't know. Does anybody else say something different between? Does anybody else have something different that it's not 2:33 or 3:33? I want to hear somebody that says it's even different, like it's a different one, because there's got to be other time zones. So it's 12:33 for them. Okay. I'm still not convinced. I know you don't. I get what you guys are saying. I get the reasoning, but I'm not convinced. I mean, I'm not an idiot. Like, I understand what that would mean or what you guys are saying, but I'm just not convinced that that's the way it works. But I get I get the time zones. I get that it means that it's 3:30 my time, 3:33 my time, what it would be her time. I get that whole concept, but I just didn't think that would be how it would work. That's all. So I'm good, Ausane. Don't worry. I'm pretty smart when it comes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get what everybody's saying. I don't know if I'm convinced that, wow, that's just weird that it would work that way. Because since it's her page, it should just be consistent on the time she posted it. But I guess it's okay, whoever's looking at it, but then. So if I posted like on YouTube at a certain time, it should. I guess it would change, but since it's her page, I don't know. It's just weird to me. But thanks, Tracy, for the super chat. Thank you. It's at vsco.com/DylanMM26. You can look it up. Yeah, it's this Autumn. Because I was just like, whoa, like we were trying to figure out, like, okay, so that'd be around the time that everything happened. But then somebody else looked it up and said it says 2:33 my time. And so I was like, huh. And then people were like, well, that would be Idaho time, or that would be 1:33 their time. And now we figured out it's actually 12:33 their time because of where they're at in Idaho, because Idaho has 2 different time zones. So I have it up. Look right there. Go ahead and copy the link if you want. Go write it down because I'm going to go. But if you want to, oh, here, I guess I could just share the link. Hold on. If you guys want to check it out yourself. But I think I am going to go, guys. I gotta take a shower and oh, so the pool we have 32. Let me write this down though, in case if it changes. So we have Maddie of the pool. Well, who do you think was the target? Maddie's 32%. Kaylee is 37. 32, 37. Ethan. Why did that unshare it? I didn't even do anything. Did I? I don't know. Anyway, Ethan and Xana is 15%, and then 16% is no target. So that's the results. I wrote them down, so we'll see if they end up changing with new information or whatever. Okay. So the most is Kaylee still for some reason. All right, guys. Well, yeah, go see what it says. Oh, yours says 333. Okay. So I guess it is who's viewing it. Wow. I wanted somebody else that didn't say 233 to confirm it. Okay. So you must be where? It's me who's viewing it, silly. Autumn, it's me. I'm on that. That would be me. You're silly. See? I'm on the page. It's not a screenshot. It's the actual website, or it's actually her actual page. So it's me that's viewing it. So yes, I am in Eastern time zone. I'm in the same one as you. You're silly. All right, I'm gonna go. I gotta look up. Did I put the link up? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, bye guys. It does say 12:33 a.m. and oh, I know. We figured it out. Yeah. That's why I wanted somebody else to verify it. That somebody else besides the people saying 2:33. I wanted like another time to come up for a different time zone just to do it. And yeah, with everybody after I shared the link, we realized, yeah. But thank you. You're in Eastern then, yeah. Bye, Chica. Because they not from Idaho, they just go to college there. Wait, what's cringy? What? Wait, what's getting cringy, Mike? I don't know what you mean. Like the channel or just like the case? Can you elaborate? Hey, J Lord. If not Xana Medi, I think it's a series. Yeah, I think it could be a random too. I think just as much it could be random as a target. I'm not like even leaning more way or the other. I feel like I don't know. I'm not leaning like any way stronger. See, a part of me thinks it's random, part of me thinks it's targeted, but I don't know what I think more. Yeah, but it was more chilling when you would think it was 3:33 because that was more the time it happened. And then posting a picture of her, Kaylee, that was like, whoa, that's crazy. So, but 12:30. Wait, why 12:33 is chilling though, Autumn? Still is kind of weird because I don't know. It's her roommate, I guess, but yeah. Hey, Michael. Did Mike D's answer why he thinks it's getting cringy? Hey, Tom Tom. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to say, but it's just kind of chilling. I guess you're right, Autumn. You were right. It's posted real time in every zone. All right. Good night, Stacy. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. I see. Hey, Jenna. Yeah, I don't know. I just got my head all messed up because it just is I don't know what I was thinking, but I bet you more I think about it, it'll make more like, not that I don't understand it, but the more I think about it, it'll be like, oh yeah, then that should be that way. But right now I'm like, why that shouldn't be that way? But it should, because it's, I guess, who's ever viewing it, it should be the time, right? So it does make sense, I guess. So Dylan post. Hold on. Let me just see real quick so we could say for sure what time. So Moscow is what time zone? Just so we know 100%. So Moscow is. Oh, wait. Yeah, Moscow is Pacific, because it's 4:54 there right now. So it would have been, yeah, it would have been 12:33. Yeah, 12:33. So you guys were right. I just want to confirm what time zone, because they say so Idaho has 2 different time zones depending where you're at. Okay. Yeah, it was. You're right. Bye, Mark. No, Moscow's actually Pacific. Right? It's 3 hours behind me, but yeah, Pacific Standard Time. Oh, wow. Huh. All right, bye guys. Have a good night. Have a good Sunday. Go eat some dinner. Well, I don't know, it might be past dinner time. I might have a little I have a little sweet tooth, so I ate my dinner, now I might have some chocolate or something. But thanks for clearing that up with that picture. Let me take that down. Well, maybe next time we could do open panel. I just feel like I want to make sure people, because last time I did it, I think I just had like 1 or 2 people. So maybe think about it next time if you guys want to join. We could get a good panel going on. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.